Emily, do you want to hear a really funny joke?
Yeah, sure, totally.
B.O.
See,
See,
I was thinking it looks like it. I mean, that is really funny.
it's
It looks like it
boss.
says boss though,
It
like
does say boss.
the Bossrosslp
Yeah.
YouTube channel. Hit the like button. Kids at home.
Sirhan Dogan! It's like in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
And I
Pull
would
off
have
like
never
they
believed
pull off
it.
the fucking Moozilla mask.
But the problem is Sirhan Dogan's the one with the dog. So, like, you know, isn't he on the good side? Speaking of. You, why are you here? How can you just brazenly show up here, pal? What do you think you're doing, pal?
I'm just here to feed my dog a Scooby snack. That's the bit this episode. I mean, I found the conversation. I don't remember the voice I did for this fucker. I found the conversation most intriguing, and I just, well.
I think that's pretty accurate. Are you feeling nostalgic about an old murder of yours? You're the one who killed Huang!
Nostalgia? I think not.
Me when I see Nostalgia Critic recommended on my YouTube feed.
What's the thing that he always? I was gonna reference it. Wait, is that a different YouTuber who's like, I did this so you don't have to?
I remember it, so you don't have to.
Yeah, was that Nostalgia
That's
Critic?
Nostalgia Critic, yes.
Okay, alright. You were speaking about the person I am searching for.
You're searching for someone?
I escaped from prison in order to meet with a young acolyte. The one who wore the red raincoat so I didn't have to.
The red raincoat.
Well, who is this person?
I suspect
that it's the same person as the mastermind you are searching for.
Someone you've been searching for. The one in the red hood. The red hood.
Don't they seem surprised, Anubis? Yes, they are, my boy. 12 years ago, this young acolyte saved my life.
Do you think that's the same dog?
In canon, most certainly. In our little bizarro, joke world where Kay is waiting for her Uber Eats still, that's probably a new dog.
Certainly.
It was I who killed President Huang. However, my life was also targeted on that day. The body double, Blaze, and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. But alas, even to this day, I do not know what has become of the young acolyte.
So your client was indeed the body double who was the main perpetrator of the crime.
It was a long time ago, but I remember his words even now.
There have been countless attempts on my life. Not just once or twice, countless. And yet, why must I be the only one to face the danger? When I stand before the people, I honor the same respect as the president does. Tell me, what is the difference between him and me?
The difference was great, while the voice and style of speech may be the same.
Oh. Well, I'll know that for the future.
One can mimic the body, but the heart cannot be reproduced.
I suppose his own weakness cost him his quest to become a leader. Now the rookie's gone. I'm in charge.
I'm not sure if you're as capable as Rook was.
What are you saying? I'm totally the leader now. Huh. Perhaps the king and his knight were not so different after all.
The double believed that the president's only weakness was a woman called Amy, from Shadow the Hedgehog. To find the woman, he needed the assistance of someone from this country.
Imagine an alternate universe where the big reason Sonic and Shadow fight is because they both simp for Amy and she wants nothing to do with them. And
Bro, check Wattpad. Check Wattpad. You know that's on there. I'm honestly low-key a little bit of a Shadami shipper, so I get it.
So,
to
like...
find... No, it's not.
Shadami.
That's the ship name. It's really bad, but it's the ship name.
The thing is, it is very normal to have, like, the guy simping for the girl who doesn't want it. It's a little less rare, but still happens, where it's, like, the girl being really creepy, and the guys are like, ugh. That's a Chowder thing with Panini and Chowder. But, still bad both ways.
Yeah, I mean, Amy gets a lot more of a character in games after, like, Sonic Adventure 1, where that's, like, the main, like, that's, like, her main thing.
Yes.
She's actually, like, at this point, like, with the most recent, like, Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, she's one of the more, like, intricate characters, for sure.
Which
like,
is good. They're probably, like, going away from that. And they're just like, that was really cringy. Let's not do that.
Yeah,
anymore.
like, they have her, you know, obviously have a close bond with Sonic, but she's not, like,
A stalker.
creepy at all. She's not weird at all about it.
She's not, like, beating the shit out of him with a hammer if he looks at, like,
Yeah.
cream.
Yeah, well, now she does have her hammer, and that is, like, a very, you know, important part of her character is that she can use her hammer on stuff.
Yeah,
But it's
she
usually
doesn't
for good reasons.
kick the crap out of Sonic because, like, ooh, you looked at Tails in a funny way. Tails is my best friend. Time to die.
I don't think that happens, but I get what you're saying.
Did you read this whole line?
No, I didn't. To find the woman, he needed the assistance of someone from this country.
So we joined forces with Blaze.
After determining her whereabouts, he simply waited for the right opportunity. That chance came with the meeting at the orphanage. Indeed, the director of the orphanage was bribed and brought in as an accomplice.
He must be referring to Patricia Rowland.
Well, given what I've told you, do you realize the whereabouts of the young acolyte now?
You mean the boy who saved you? But how do you know that he is the mastermind?
That day, the young one caused a fire at the garden of the orphanage. Ah, you're talking about the kid who started the fire as a prank. A prank? Not at all. On that night 12 years ago, the young acolyte was hiding inside the igloo, as children ought to do. It seems he witnessed Patricia and Blaze moving the body from his hiding place. Normal kid stuff. Apparently, he heard them talking during that time. It would seem that they were planning to kill me because I knew the truth.
Normal kid stuff.
He immediately came to the main hall to tell me that. Normal kid stuff. I learned this about the young acolyte sometime later. He was a normal kid. It
you
seems
you seem pretty concerned he's a normal kid, Mr. Dogan.
He's so normal. It seems he was wearing a normal red raincoat at the time.
It was such a plain red raincoat. God, I'm so plain.
He led me out of the main hall. I noticed his red raincoat style. And then the young acolyte said he was going to get rid of our footprints. So he scattered some lamp oil, bombs, ropes, you want it, I've got it, near the igloo over the snow.
A stroke.
Then he boldly set the oil ablaze. Normal kid stuff. Ah, no way. So he set the fire in order to... All their focus was diverted toward the burning... I thought this said the burning families, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
All their focus is on the burning lives. They're dead.
I took the opportunity to escape through the rear exit.
So the boy in the red raincoat's the mastermind behind this case. So the fucking dumbass kid was just ripped out of the orphanage and turned into a killing machine. I am an angel of darkness.
Exactly. Isn't that right, Anubis? Yes, boy. Yes, it is. I hate having to play a dog person.
Certainly knows I would kill a lot. You admitted that rather easily.
These days, I have long grown tired of killing. But in those
Halcyon.
days, I devoted myself to the path of an execution.
You've never heard Halcyon before?
I have not. What does that mean?
Halcyon is used a lot in, like, superhero stuff.
Well, the only superhero stuff I've listened to, I've seen is like the Marvel movies, which are probably trying to dumb down their vocabulary for the general audience.
Characterized by happiness, great success, and prosperity, golden. Often used to describe an idyllic time in the past that is remembered as better than today.
Ah, yes, I think back fondly to the times that I watched a 12-year-old kid commit arson.
Like all those people who are like, man, the antebellum times really were the best parts of Southern history.
They were the best of times, they were the worst of times.
Dude, they had fucking slaves.
Yeah, well, Coke was $1.50.
States' rights or something. I read the line. If one cannot admit that much, what can he admit? Right, Anubis? Yes, yes, my boy. I feel like he's saying something scary, but it's kind of hard to understand him with all this stupid pop culture references.
This fallen priest is saying he has no feelings about the president's death. Dogen, the assassin, and the escaped prisoner. He should be a despicable opponent, but silencing him now would be imprudent. I must keep my composure and let him talk. I understand your point. You killed the president.
That is correct. The aim of my blade never misses its mark.
What's the difference between impudent and imprudent? I guess imprudent would be like to prevent.
Yeah,
And
let's
impudent versus imprudent.
Impudent is not showing respect. Imprudent is not showing care for the consequences of
Being
an action.
heedless and rash. That is such a Edgeworth thing to be like, it'd be imprudent not to do this. I make my voice with Edgeworth, but I know he actually sounds like, yes, Mr. Wright, what are you talking about? Kind of has like that. Ah, shit.
A voice that only two people, Phoenix Wright and Wendy Oldbag, could fall for.
No, there's other people in the series. Your life was targeted, you, the assassin.
The hunter becomes the hunted. The Buddhist becomes the Buddha.
Hey, you don't have to make up strange proverbs.
That's my job.
Life is transient, especially for an assassin whose life is always exposed to danger. So does that mean people you've tried to kill have fought back? That is a rare occurrence. However, this was different.
Sirhan Dogen, you are a master assassin. As such, could you not have evaded an attack from these three and fled the scene?
You greatly overestimate me. Without Anubis by my side, I would not even be able to walk about. If those three were to attack me all at once, I would not stand a chance.
I see. So even an assassin will fall to superior numbers in a frontal assault.
I suppose one could say that. I, Sirhan Dogen, would have suffered a shameful defeat.
Literally at the very beginning of the game, didn't they say how Shelly the Killer, like, dispatched several people in a straight one-on-one fight and got away with only, like, a broken arm?
Well, I am not Shelly the Killer, sadly.
I guess that's true. Reunited, huh? So, when did you first meet with him?
That would be 18 years ago on the 24th of December.
So you're saying that it wasn't Christmas. Almost Christmas isn't Christmas.
That means that they're 30 years old, right? Because they were 12 years old.
Yeah, that was a rather long time ago.
On that day, our roles were reversed. I saved the young one's life. There was an unusual snowstorm on that day. The temperature was well below freezing. I took Anubis for a walk in the snow. That's when Anubis noticed
Wait, sorry,
something
18 years ago? How the fuck is this dog still alive?
It's a different dog, okay? I followed after him and found a car.
You called your dog the same thing?
I Had great difficulty opening the door. It had frozen shut. In the back seat, there were 2 young children shivering from the cold.
2 children.
Had they remained in the car for an hour longer, they surely would have frozen to death. I brought the 2 of them to a nearby orphanage.
Is there anything about Dogen's story that concerns me? Yes. What concerns me is the model of the car.
The number of children? Because this is all about one kid, right?
Yeah, that would confuse me. But also the date, because how the fuck is this dog still alive? There were 2 children in the car. You're sure of that?
It may have been 18 years ago, but I remember it clearly. There were 2 children in the car. There is no mistaking it. Does the good prosecutor have a problem with that number?
Right now, the number of children doesn't want to have a problem with.
Are we done talking about this subject yet?
What concerns me is, I think it's
Maybe
the
it
date.
is the date. Maybe it
The
is.
24th of December, 18 years ago. Are you sure about that?
There is no mistake.
Could that mean? I know. The significance behind that date. What shows the significance of the date when Dogen found the children? Oh, wait a minute.
Is that oh. Oh yeah, that's right.
That's a little bit... That day, a certain incident occurred. A sculptor was murdered.
Ah,
During that incident, 2 young boys went missing. The sons of the victim, Isaac Dover and the culprit Dane Gustavia. Wow. I never did find out where those 2 boys went after the case 18 years ago.
oh, they were the sons of a victim and a culprit. It all makes sense now.
What makes sense?
One of the youths was bound so that he could not move. Mr. Dover did it so that Mr. Gustavia's son couldn't come to the contest venue.
Indeed. Gustavia was using his own sons as a taste tester.
To think that that was what had transpired. Neither child seemed to recall what had happened.
They lost their memories?
The acolyte told me this when we were reunited 12 years ago. The pair were placed in an extreme situation on the verge of freezing to death. That trauma led them both to suffer from amnesia. Neither could so much as remember his own name.
They didn't even know that they were the sons of Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia.
Indeed, while we cannot say it conclusively, the probability is quite high. However, we still don't have enough information to deduce the mastermind's identity. Dogen, would you please continue your story?
Very well.
So I guess the kids weren't 12. It was 12 years ago, right? That he met the kid again.
Yeah. So they could have been, like, any age.
Yeah. I continued my correspondence with the young acolyte even after entering prison. Recently, that has all come to an abrupt halt, however. It left me quite concerned. Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago were all drawn into incidents one by one. I grew more and more curious, and so I absconded briefly from the prison.
Those involved 12 years ago were Patricia Rowland, Blaise de Best, and President Huang's body double.
And Miss Rowland was the warden of Mr. Dogen's prison.
I blackmailed the warden. That woman had tried to kill me. Perhaps the good prosecutor has already deduced the reason.
You murdered President Huang. However, the world still believed he was alive. If you were able to prove the president was a fake, well then both Patricia Rowland and Blaise de Best would have been in danger.
That is correct, and I had heard the proof with my own ears.
I'll be waiting in the courtyard of the orphanage at midnight on February 9th.
Even if it's just once. I want John to be able to meet you.
This probably
Oh,
isn't. place.
Yeah, this is
Amy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm being selfish, but I'll be waiting.
I'll be waiting.
Who might you be? My apologies, but I am presently waiting for someone.
I am well aware of that, President Huang. Are you not meeting with your son?
Oh wait, no, that was Justine, right? She called him like because this is no. Wait, did she
I
know
think
that?
that's
No,
Amy.
she didn't because she didn't know that he was the body double. It's been a while, but no, I guess the courier. So this is in the past. This isn't right. He didn't kill the body double. Okay.
No.
I mixed some flyers. This is in the past, yeah.
However, I do not spill blood needlessly. You may relax. I seek only the President's life.
It can't be. Please wait. I'm just about to meet my son for the first time. I'm sure this will be the first and last time. Please, at least wait until we are finished.
I had thought the President would beg for his life, but he was of a different sort. Officially, the President had no son. However, he shook his head and said this illegitimate son was his, and he intended to recognize him publicly. Furthermore, he claimed that he had already made preparations towards that end. Would that son of his be the boy with horns over there by any chance?
Boy, horns. Wait, you can see John's horns?
There is no need to see them, from the moment I escaped from prison until now. I have been closely lending an ear to your voices.
He said that the president made preparations towards recognizing his son. But the word preparations alone would be insufficient for blackmail. That's it.
There is one thing that could prove Huang's words. The will held by the House of Lang. It was also proof of his trust in us. His son's existence would have been revealed to the world.
The name on the recording, the mention of preparations, and the will in Zhengfa. Together, they suffice to make the warden bow to my word.
With those three pieces of information, one could prove the identity of the double. By using John.
The President blocked the first strike of my knife with something soft. As pieces of it fell atop the snow, I struck once more. This time, the blow proved fatal.
So Dogen cut off the Mozilla doll's horn.
None but I heard his final words. Only myself and that child knew of the President's secret son.
In other words, you contacted him from prison.
That is correct. A post office box was used.
A post office box.
Would allow one to send and receive letters without revealing the recipient's location.
I could not use a form of correspondence that would reveal the acolyte's location. There was someone keeping watch over my correspondences, after all.
He must mean the prison warden, Patricia Rowland. Could you be a bit more specific about the nature of your correspondences?
Well, they were mainly moves for my correspondence chess matches.
Correspondence chess. If I recall, the person you were playing against.
This might be hard to believe, but Dogen's chess opponent was.
Ah, are you saying he was playing against Mr. Knightley? Wasn't it Horace Knightley?
We certainly found the correspondence chess memo in Knightley's cell. I think correspondence chess is the premier example of how our modern society has no fucking, like, tolerance. Like, we have absolutely no patience. Could you imagine, like, carrying out a chess match over the course of, like, several months to a year?
Yeah, I mean,
Just sending fucking letters.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we invented this thing where you can play an entire chess match in 3 minutes.
In 1 minute, even. Well, I guess that there's, you each have 1 minute. But...
Does that mean Natalie Boy was the kid from the I-7 incident?
Could that really be true? Is there any evidence connecting Knightley to the I-7 incident? Well.
Yeah, check the mementos. There's a ring, right? Oh, that's probably the ring with the Dover sigil on it. Doesn't that have the
Yeah.
Dover sigil on it?
I think it does. This is all that Knightley left behind. Could there be a clue hidden within? Which should I investigate? The ring on the chessboard. This ring is... It
Mr.
had
Edgeworth, what is it?
H. Dover. Mr. Shields, please take a look at this ring.
This pattern is... It's Pierre O'Kay's.
I thought so. He had Mr. Dover's seal turned into a ring. However, why would he have this? Shouldn't have been held by the police evidence for the I-7 incident?
After the incident, the seal was returned to the victim's next of kin. Mr. Dover's only family was his son. But since no one knew where his son had gone to, it took a while to get it to him. I'd heard that the police had finally found him and delivered his inheritance, but...
Oh, so his son is Knightley. So the seal was thereby safely delivered to his son, huh? And then he turned the seal into a ring and wore it on his person.
So, Mr. Knightley was Mr. Dover's son.
No, the police aren't fools. I'm sure they did a thorough check before handing over the seal.
Everyone just looks over at Gumshoe. What?
If someone involved in the IS-7 incident was his chess opponent...
Knightley, huh? Then that man must be the mastermind behind this case.
Other son. Knightley's dead. He cannot be involved in this incident.
How about that? The only one who could be the mastermind was himself a murder victim.
But a dead guy can't be the culprit, so there's no way that's right.
It certainly is strange. In that case, who is the culprit?
We're back to this.
This is less to prove Dogen wrong and find a contradiction and more just listen to what he says and just present shit.
Yeah.
Came to a halt. Now.
Endgame Ace Attorney can get like that.
Quite odd, is it not? Anubis told me again and again how odd it was.
That scary dog talked? Was he like, something's odd, woof?
Everyone just like slowly panned over to Ken, just like, what?
No. I can understand Anubis' heart, even if he does not voice his thoughts.
And it's not for want of trying.
I really tried. Everyone thought I was crazy. You don't think I'm crazy, do you?
I'm normal, like that normal kid.
Then there's something I'd like to ask, just in case. Your scary dog staring at me right now. He's not saying, I'm hungry, I want some meat, right?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Mr. Edgeworth.
It seems she's not much good with the assassin's dog.
Good boy, there's a good boy. So then, at any rate, my correspondence with the Acolyte suddenly came to an abrupt halt.
Could you imagine showing someone this scene and being like, but then like lying to them, be like, oh, that dog, that's a human in a dog costume, or like that's just a human-sized dog. They stand on their two legs. It's weird. Don't question it.
Me and my partner are two halves of like a horse costume, but I'm going as me and he's going as this dog. Any questions?
Just Ace Attorney. That certainly does seem too much for a mere coincidence, sir. The body double of Jijin Huang, the president of Zhengfa, faked an assassination plot. Patricia Rowland, meanwhile, the prison warden, murdered Horace Knightley. And Blaise de Best, the chairman of the PIC, murdered Jill Crane. Come to think of it, as I've been investigating these cases, I felt the presence of some force behind the scenes in all of them.
Even within the prison, I could tell that it was no insignificant
Is this the first Ace Attorney game where literally every single case was tied together?
I think so.
Actually, I guess
There's,
Investigations 1 did the same thing.
A little, very, much more tangentially.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with, like, later Ace Attorney, especially, like, Spirit of Justice, is, like, I think that all the cases in Kurain are relevant to Kurain, but not all the, like, they'll just flash back to, like, Apollo and Trucy back in Japanifornia, right? So it's not the entire thing.
Right.
I grew more and more curious.
And so I absconded. You absconded all over yourself? I cannot forgive such a criminal act.
You stole your way out of prison? I cannot forgive such a thieving act.
Relax, no one was hurt. I merely have connections that allow me to set foot outside.
You didn't hurt anyone? I cannot forgive such an innocent act. Here's Gumshoe. Kill him. What?
Alright, if you insist. Oh, here he is!
What do you so? You just escaped from prison, pal. Arrest him! Arrest him! Don't let him
Die!
kill me.
That won't be necessary. Once my business is done, I shall return to my cell.
You don't understand, Gumshoe. You're kind of a sink on the funds. You literally pay me nothing. You pay me chimps and monkey oil. Trying to make a fool of us? Prison isn't the kind of place you can just enter and leave at will.
The wolf may say that. But one can see that the wolf and his pack also share an interest in the tales of my past.
Agent Lang, Detective Gumshoe. There are still a few things I must ask Dogen. Please postpone matters until then. Yes, sir. I knew you'd say that, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Damn it all. I'm not taking my eyes off you for just a second.
Wait, why did you press that?
Excuse me, but you wrote your letters in Braille?
Indeed, for I possess the tools necessary to write in Braille.
Can you help me solve this
Wow.
really hard puzzle in Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby, then?
No. So
Why
you
does
need to
everyone
use
keep asking me that?
I can't even see the screen. I don't know how I would be of any help.
Why would they
See,
add Braille?
See, you need to use tools to write in Braille. I never knew.
Then would you please tell us what you wrote?
Then would you please? Here, I got my Game Boy.
Everything. Letters, of course, and also the movements of the chess pieces.
I stopped playing after Gen 1. It's just the same thing every time, isn't it?
I wrote the movements of the chess pieces by hand. That statement's intriguing.
So then, how does your handmade dog piece move?
Okay, that question can wait. So then, what'd you do with the letters stop coming? When the letters stop coming? They don't stop coming?
Within the prison, I grew increasingly concerned about the Acolyte's whereabouts.
Okay, but even so, I don't really get it. Who exactly is this acolyte?
Indeed, Dogen himself has not yet made that clear. What's important is the thread connecting Dogen and this acolyte. Their correspondence. And not just the letters. We should pay attention to the means that he used as well.
So, I think you can show the correspondence chest to the blind, or to the Braille comment, because it wasn't in Braille, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Do I have, like, the correspondence?
You should. I think so.
Ah, here we go.
Yeah, it's not Braille.
That's, it's not Braille, my guy. I'm certain you said you wrote your letters in Braille.
Correct. The good prosecutor must know that I am lacking in sight, do you not?
Well, the correspondence chess letters we found have been typed out using a word processor.
What? That cannot be.
What do you mean?
So, someone went out of their way to retype the letters on a computer?
Could another person have acted as a middleman between Dogen and Knightley?
What do you mean?
Dogan wrote his letter in Braille, however. By the time it reached Knightley, it had been rewritten on a word processor.
That motherfucker changed my moves.
They must assume that some middleman rewrote these letters. And the reverse can also be said, that somebody must have taken the letters Knightley wrote and redelivered them to Dogan. Yes, that is indeed true. Knightley and Dogan both communicated through a certain individual. Dogan, were the letters that reached you...
They were in Braille, of course.
Well, the boy's letters must have been transposed by the same person as well.
Oh? Then that that somebody must be.
The mastermind behind the case.
You're saying there's someone else who's the mastermind behind this case? Who the hell is it?
Dover's son, Knightley, is already deceased. In that case, there's one more youth that we should consider to be the mastermind.
You mean
What, Lang?
You mean Dave Gustavia's son? But who the heck is he?
If Knightley's Dover's son, then Gustavia's son must be.
Well, we're the only friends either of us had since childhood. He was the same as me. We never had real families.
Guess who was friends with Mr. Knightley? Do you remember?
Hold on. Nah, I don't remember. So long ago.
Do you remember who went to the prison and was immediately charged for murder? And we had to clear their case?
Oh, fuck it. Come on. Really? The monkey guy?
It can't be. Could it? Could it really be him?
Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? You've gone all pale.
I figured it out. The identity of the mastermind has been controlling this case from the shadows.
What? Who in the world is it? It's not Himiko, right?
I don't want to believe it myself, but it is someone we know quite well. The mastermind is... the mastermind behind this case sent a letter to Jill Crane, which deceived Blaze. Furthermore, he kidnapped John and eavesdropped on us. However, of all his actions, the one I have not been able to get out of my mind is how he brought an unconscious Kay to the roof. The giant monster.
Huh? Did you just say something?
That's right. The key to exposing the mastermind is in the monster's true form.
Ah, I almost forgot. If you'd like, please come to our next show. I'll also be performing in it. The Berry Big Circus is always...
Oh, that's...
The Berry Big Circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages.
Miss Swift, there is something I would like to ask of you.
Well, what? You mean me?
You said that you recorded the sound of Mozilla spewing flames. Would this decisive evidence of yours be something you recorded on that tape recorder?
That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. You're good to figure things out, aren't you? It's the sound of Mozilla spewing out fire. This place nearly became a sea of flames. That's right. I ain't actually seen it with my own eyes, though.
Could you let us listen to the tape?
Sure thing. There we go.
This sound, it's as I thought. So it seems that my reasoning was correct. The true nature of the monster and the mastermind. All of my logic is coming together. Miss Hart, you said that you captured a giant eye on film, did you not?
Sure did, right here in my photo. Though we cannot confirm it like this.
That was Edgeworth.
We cannot confirm it like this. Detective Gumshoe,
Yes, sir.
lend us your film analysis device.
Okay, but, what do you want to analyze, sir? CSI Miami style.
This photo, please. No, I'm on it. Is there a new clue in this photo?
Let's see the zoom.
The image. It's a letter. That's not new, I don't think.
Huh, what could it be?
I guess it's just a giant eyeball.
This is... See? Ain't the Mozilla's eye right where I said it would be?
I see. I have finally grasped the true form of the giant monster that was being controlled by the mastermind.
Giant monster?
Ain't admitting it. You are, ain't you? You're admitting the mighty Mozilla's real.
No. This is not Mozilla. This is the eye of a different monster.
I don't know if you saw, but I liked the quick, disappointed Lotta
Yeah,
as
yeah.
the objection.
Yeah. Please have a look at this. It's a flyer for the Berry
It's a
Big
flyer for the Berry Big Circus? This is...
Precisely. There's a rather large balloon with the head of a lion pictured here. This balloon is the true identity of the giant monster. In addition, the sound Miss Swift recorded, which she believed to be Mozilla spewing flames.
Mr. Prosecutor, don't tell me you're gonna say something that'll shatter my dreams of a scoop.
It's the sound of the hot air balloon rising. Hot air balloons fly by using burners to heat up the air, right, sir? Precisely, Detective. The mastermind used this monster of his to bring Kay to the rooftop of the Grand Tower without using the elevator.
Wouldn't that mean that the mastermind is someone connected to the circus? Oh god, it really might as well have been fucking Himiko.
After everyone complained about the second game, they're like, fine, we'll make the final mastermind someone from the fucking circus. Are you
Jeez,
happy?
Mr. Edgeworth, this circus really doesn't need to burn in holy fire. You weren't kidding.
He's a member of the circus, Nally's friend, and Dane Gustavia's son. Well, who'd have thunk it?
An apprentice beast tamer? He's no amateur. For the beast he has tamed is none other than this entire case. Simon Keyes! He is the mastermind behind this whole incident.
But Mr. Keyes was really behind it all. Alright, you need some sleep, Mr. Edgeworth. No way, I don't believe it. I mean, we trusted him. How could it all have been a lie? That's just heartbreaking.
If we were Mr. Nick, we would have gotten a spoiler about this a while ago with the Magatama, but okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
Hey, you, stop. Where do you think you're going? The boy with horns is rather perceptive. The good prosecutor has done a remarkable job. Now that I have heard that, I have no further business here.
What? Wait, Dogen!
That's why I'm not a dog person.
Okay, help! I'm dying!
Oh my god, I thought I was lunch meat.
Damn it, where'd he vanish to? Why the fuck did no one else grab him? He only had one dog.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. How we let a blind man escape. Anyway, however.
That guy.
John? Gumshoe, what the fuck were you doing?
That Dogen guy. He's the one who killed my dad, right?
There's no question more difficult to answer, however. There's no use in denying the truth. Yes, John. You're correct.
He'll pay for this. I swear he's gonna pay. I'll make him pay more. John, you mustn't finish that thought. Prosecutor Edgeworth, please pay us no mind.
Sir, I put an APB on Dogen. All available police units will be searching for him. You heard the man, kid. I don't mean to be heartless, but we need to hurry too. So, Mr. Prosecutor, where's the mastermind right now?
Agent Lang is right. Our top priority right now should be to catch up to the mastermind. I'm surprised the mastermind wasn't a part of this. You see how fucking big this crowd of people is? The
Yeah,
hell's
I
Penny
actually,
doing here? I just work here.
yeah, I'm on the clock right now.
He said we'd be practicing. He's most likely at the very big circus.
No!
But
God, no!
we're gonna see so many old people from the very big circus and the
I
music's
hope
gonna
not.
play. We'll see like Bat. We'll see Regina.
What a perfect fucking
we'll see
capstone,
Mo.
actually, to the pre-Apollo Justice era of Ace Attorney. Can I be real? Like, that
Even
is,
though this
in
game
a
came
meta,
after
in a
Apollo
meta
Justice.
sense, in a meta sense, that is the best fucking thing.
That's why we only come out of it with just Edgeworth intact. Everyone else fucking died.
Yeah, they put like landmines all over the circus.
They saw fucking murder victims. They've seen the worst the world can offer. But it was just seeing the circus that made them all go, no, fuck this. Edgeworth even, like, wasn't even going to appear. He had to be offered, like, a really high-paying job. He was like, alright, I'll appear in, like, half of one game.
A request? What is it?
Now that we've identified the great monster, our next order of business is to capture it. The moment we arrive at the tent, I need you to locate that specific item post-haste. And Detective, I ask that you perform a follow-up investigation on the kidnapping incident.
Roger that, sir.
Mr. Edgeworth, I want to help out too.
Huh. Well, in that case, you'll be in charge of calling for backup. If he's truly the mastermind, we may require an assistance from a certain someone. I met him so many times, yet his facade always fooled me into sympathy. Phoenix Wright. He may have gotten the better of me in the past, but this time I'll settle it once and for all. Who's he talking? Oh, I guess he's talking about...
He started talking about Simon, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Is there like some hidden like joke in the name Simon Keys about him being the mastermind, or did they just go full like, no, it's just monkeys, and there's no joke to find on
Simon
accident?
Keys.
I don't think so, right?
Maybe like Siamese? Like
Uh,
he's the twin to Knightley, kind of?
I could see something like that.
I don't know. Simulacrum.
Also, very big circus.
5:30 p.m.
No. No.
Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, don't worry. I made everyone leave before you came.
No.
Are you guys here for the show? Mr. Keys, Miss Barry.
What if they're wrong? That'd be really funny.
You're a little early. I'm sorry, but we're still getting ready. I haven't put on my Joker makeup. I'm so happy you came. You remembered our promise. Yes, I remember. You asked us to come and see the show when you gave me this. Max
Oh, God,
Galactica is like
wait,
chained, right?
Is this gonna be like the Red Wedding, where like they set up the show to kill us?
Something like that. Who knows?
Spoilers for Game of Thrones.
It's like the most obvious one, though, to be fair. I'm so happy you came. Please enjoy yourselves. I'm sure my performance will surprise you, Mr. Edgeworth. Your performance has already surprised me, Mr. Keys.
Imagine how funny this interaction would be if he actually wasn't the mastermind. It's like, yeah, okay.
We should have known that he was the mastermind after realizing that this monkey never fucking blinks.
Yeah. What if he's actually like an innocent victim and the monkey is like ratatouilleing him into a life of crime?
What if he's an innocent victim and the monkey's an innocent victim and Mr. Fulbright comes out of here and he goes like, I have spy gadgets.
Spoilers for Dual Destiny, guys. Sorry.
He hasn't performed yet. I think we established already from the very first episode that we know.
Yeah,
Oh.
but you know, one person's like, I'm gonna click on the end of the playlist to see the Simon Keys Mastermind reveal before I go play Dual Destiny.
No, you don't know which Fulbright I'm talking about. Well, now they
Which?
do. What if I was talking about, like, Fulbright, the element that you can find in the real world? Like, you know, strike a rock, the brights. That's what Fulbright is, right?
Do you mean fire?
Fulbright is a program. I don't know if Fulbright actually is an element.
Fulbright, Wikipedia. This guy killed people in Ace Attorney.
I guess Fulbright is just the name of a school. Okay, whatever. I thought it was... Maybe I'm thinking of Fulcrum or something. I don't know. Regina, please have a look at this photo.
Is this body Fulbright?
Yes, he's the mastermind in Dual Destinies. Wow, I haven't even gotten that far.
You actually have to put a warning in the description.
Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. What the fuck?
I didn't play it yet. I'm stuck on the fucking Reggie Steel puzzle.
Is this balloon the property of the Very Big Circus? It is. Did you see it flying around somewhere? Really close to an office building? I'm pretty sure that's illegal. It's highly likely that this balloon was used by the culprit in the case we're investigating. By the way, you cannot open a fucking hot air balloon in the middle of a city.
Expect no witnesses.
Huh?
It was a perfect crime. If only nobody saw the hot air balloon that I inflated right next to a skyscraper in the middle of Tokyo.
It only had 51 fucking floors. Who could have possibly seen it? Who was in charge of the balloon? Well, that would be Simon, but are you saying Mr. Keys, open your eyeballs. You flew this balloon in the middle of the night, did you not? I do occasionally practice alone at night. I'm not much of a pilot, though. I'm a little clumsy. So for practice, you'll do something as challenging as flying a balloon at night in the middle of a giant overpopulated city? Wouldn't that be rather difficult for someone who is a little clumsy and not much of a pilot? Well then, what do you think I was doing, Mr. Edgeworth? You brought Kay to the roof of the Grand Tower in order to frame her for the murder of Jill Crane. Not a single security camera recorded Kay using the elevator. Therefore, the only way she could have gotten up there was through flight. By the way, Kay, I thought you said all your memories came back?
I was unconscious for that part, Mr. Edgeworth.
And the only one who could have flown up here was you, Mr. Keys. No way. Mr. Edgeworth, how can you say that? Well, that's not all. You drugged John at the garbage pickup and kidnapped him. Wasn't that why you were late when you came to watch the trial of Patricia Rowland? You know, Mr. Edgeworth, can I claim extraterritorial rights here? But no, we're in the middle of Japan. You can't claim extraterritorial rights.
Yeah, you see, you're
actually, Mr. Edgeworth, he kind of can. After the whole events of the Very Big Circus, we kind of declared this neutral land. We didn't want anything to do with it anymore. It's considered tainted. He's actually on foreign soil.
Yeah, you know, Mr. Edgeworth, we live in a society.
No way. I have no idea what you're saying. There's no way I could do things like that. Please believe me, Mr. Edgeworth. Please. I wanted to believe you. However, you've broken that trust yourself. That's horrible. Why would you say that? Didn't you once say that you trust me? That you believe in me?
Don't you worry about that. We're your allies. That's because we're like birds of a feather, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Birds of a feather, huh? I suppose that's true. We have sufficient information about your past. I doubt you had a motive to kill Knightley. Rather, you are probably the most affected by his death. And I doubt someone as timid as you could work up the courage to murder someone. Alright, I'll get you out of here. We'll believe in you. I like how the one big part of that part of the game, like that trial was, here, we'll teach Edgeworth that he actually is pretty good as a lawyer.
Attorney. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, dang, you cured him because you believed in you believed in what you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's an ultimate mastermind. And this is Edgeworth going, yeah, this is why I actually became a prosecutor. No shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my badge back.
These words were all lies.
It wasn't a lie. We really did trust you.
Okay, even you? You said we were like birds of a feather, and yet... You know, I'm hurt, Kay. You've hurt me deeply. If I was bleeding out on the side of the road, you'd step right over me.
Oh. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, maybe Simon isn't a bad guy after all.
I don't know. He hasn't changed his facial expression a single time while we've been saying
Look
all
at
this.
those 2 giant teardrops. He's so sad.
I see. So that's how you operate. I understand now, all too well. No matter who you face, you find an emotional weakness and exploit it. You guide each person towards this outcome you desire without them even noticing it. That is how you were able to mastermind this entire case. I may have fallen for your tricks before, but not this time. Simon Keyes, I indict you.
Proved in court, bitch.
So it's come to this after all. You were always so full of confidence, Mr. Edgeworth. But I rather like that, because now I can rip that confidence to shreds.
Oh my god.
Hey, do you remember Matt on guard?
Yo, that's actually really good though. Okay, I actually love it.
Ha! Good work, everyone.
Oh, you don't think he changes his voice?
His personality is completely
The
changed.
fucking music.
It's the animal tamer who cannot tame animals. That was all a facade. Thank fucking God they didn't just pick the very big circus. I mean, that would be the epic villain music, but...
Yeah,
This is the real Simon Keyes.
that was Edgeworth.
This is the real Simon Keyes.
Simon, that's not true, is it? True or lie? What difference does it make? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth just made me a little upset, that's all. You'll take responsibility for upsetting me, right?
He's in like a glam rock band.
Yeah, I'm all for this actually.
It's true. I practiced with the balloon 2 nights ago. That photo must have been taken when the balloon and I passed through the building. I often fly around that area for advertising purposes. I mean, there's nothing unusual about that, right?
Normal kid stuff.
You often fly around the Grand Tower in the... Wait.
Mr. Edgeworth, I heard Dogan. Get him!
Biff!
Yeah, even the circus needs to advertise.
Regina, is that true?
Yep. It was Simon's job to advertise using the balloon. Mr. Edgeworth, did we hire a criminal again?
Yes.
Mr. Edgeworth, when did Simon get hot?
Mr.
No.
Edgeworth, why do we only hire criminals?
Why can't we hire normal people? Because all clowns are evil. Oh.
Wait a second, Regina, are you a criminal? Well, I jaywalked once.
She, like, shows off her OnlyFans, and everyone's like, oh, no. Regina, no.
I prefer the jaywalking bit, I think.
I also prefer the jaywalking bit. I think that's funnier. That balloon was used in the crime we're investigating.
Like I said, it's just a coincidence. I simply happened to pass by the Grand Tower when that photo was taken.
I shall determine whether or not it was a coincidence after I hear your full story.
Balloon.
Best.
It's true. I practiced with the balloon 2 nights ago. That photo must have been taken when the balloon and I passed near the building. I often fly around that area for advertising purposes.
You're saying it was simply a coincidence that you were photographed near the tower.
I get it. I know how you operate now, Mr. Edgeworth. You'll insist that a coincidence is impossible until you get your way. When you say it like that, everything will inevitably go your way. How scary!
You're wrong. Mr. Edgeworth isn't like that.
No, sometimes he's right. Okay, calm down. He's only trying to provoke an emotional response. He intends to goad us into losing our focus in order to derail the topic at hand. That would have worked on an ordinary, base-born, third-rate lawyer, but not on me.
Miss Redworth, you said that while longingly looking at the picture of Phoenix Wright in your pocket watch.
Listen, okay. We're not supposed to talk about my longing glances, alright?
For that man.
Now, why do you think he would do that?
Because he's a clown? No, I mean because he's trying to hide something, I guess.
Exactly, Kay. We must not let up on him. However, we must continue to keep our composure. Understand?
Yep. So, Simon, allow me as the assistant to ask you a question. When you passed by the Grand Tower at that precise moment, was it really just a coincidence?
We could have just left things at that. But, for the sake of your assistant, I shall explain my reason for being there.
I tried to kill her.
I mean, advertising. Did I say that out loud?
Advertising.
You were advertising your murder.
No!
So in addition to advertising with a balloon, maintaining the balloon is also your job. Am I wrong?
You're a real stickler for the details, you know. Yeah, that's right. Ask the boss if you want. Right, boss? Yep, Simon's in charge of cleaning and fixing all the stuff with the balloon. I don't think anyone besides Simon has used the balloon for a while now.
Don't say that.
Well, that confirms he was the one riding the balloon in the photo 2 days ago. However, if he was the mastermind, he must have already used it today as well. Am I able to prove that?
Looks like you're deep in thought. Is it really that hard to comprehend? Hot air balloons fly in the sky. And in other news, the sky is blue and the grass is green.
I love that face. It's like, so, like, you know, eto bleh.
It's very much a animated Batman Joker face.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not even juggling, it's just the squirrels juggling themselves.
Yeah. I think that there's actually, like, I think that's, like, intentionally supposed to be, like, this guy's, like, a fake clown. Like, this is a facade, like.
I wonder about that. You flew the balloon in the middle of the night, eerily close to a certain other incident. Would you say there's nothing strange about that as well?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, isn't that a little really kind of a leading question, wouldn't you say?
Wouldn't you please stop being such a naughty prosecutor? It's kind of a downer, you know.
I mean, it's a clown's job to put smiles on people's faces, after all.
He ducks and weaves around my questions skillfully. Very well, in that case, I'll simply have to make use of a more direct attack. You still don't know for much about the balloon. In any case, I must draw out some more information. He kind of reminds me of Junko.
Hey. No?
More spoilers?
I had a weird, tiny internet blip there, but yeah, he does remind me of her in a way. I do always love in these games, like, when you point out the fucking killer and they
Mask off.
yeah, they go not just personality wise, but also like their design changes, and it's like you can tell like in retrospect, like, oh, the double, like, you know, double, like, what do you call, like, a ponytail on the head? I don't know, but
The hairlet dome?
Yeah, like that was planned, you know, from the design the whole time, and it's always like very fun to see.
It's like when you look at a character and you go, that character's a lesbian, but I'm not sure yet. And then they just have a scene where they let their hair down and, like, tickles at, like, their shoulders. Like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, like, the other character looks at them very longingly. It's like, okay.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait for Cedric's mask down moment. That'll be good.
Yeah, of course. He's gonna become the Joker.
So you figured it out, Noelle, huh?
Cedric. What are you thinking?
I think that one of the things we pressed added text, and we probably have to present onto that. Did we press everything?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I didn't press the very first one. Was the balloon launched from this tent?
There's a nice big park near the Sunshine Coliseum. I always launch the balloons there.
I see. In that case, how do you transport the balloon to the park?
Well, it's too heavy to carry by hand. It weighs several hundred pounds. And yet it can fly in the sky. Amazing, isn't it?
I asked you how you transported it. Now answer the question.
Well, can't I even make some small talk, huh? You're mean, Mr. Edgeworth. I used a truck. The balloon is loaded onto the back of the truck.
A truck?
Yeah, last time I took the truck and the balloon out was 2 days ago.
I cannot overlook that piece of testimony.
Last time I took the truck and the balloon out was 2 days ago.
It's probably supposed to be the blue truck, and you can present that.
Yeah. Oh, look.
Maybe.
Look in the back.
Oh, yeah.
That does certainly look like a folded down balloon.
So I think you can present it, maybe? Yeah. You say that you didn't use the truck today. However, I saw a truck earlier today. Book him, boys.
Mr. Edgeworth's right. No one drives a truck in here. In this part of the country. Because it's Japanifornia, everyone walks. The truck
There you go.
you put the balloon into. Was it blue by any chance?
Blue? So what if it was?
Today, we saw a blue truck carrying a large basket. If that truck just so happens to be yours, then your claim that it was last used 2 days, that you last used it 2 days ago becomes a lie.
Oh, shit.
It's the Men in Black.
And me.
And the Men in Black.
And me.
And Lang. Hey, it's been a little bit, Lang.
And me and my luminol. Hey.
Luminol bottle. Wow.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's great.
What the heck are you carrying? Give me that. Agent Lang and Emma.
Mr. Edgeworth, I finally found you. I've been searching for you ever since the incident yesterday. I dashed right over after Kay contacted me just a little while ago.
Does no one fucking sleep in this universe?
We have each other on Discord.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, the thing you were looking for. I found it. It was packed into a blue truck at the dressing room parking lot.
Small hot air balloon used for advertising. Simon Keyes is in charge of it. Placed in the truck. A blue truck, as I suspected. That truck is, without a doubt, the one I saw today.
And there are a number of blue trucks out there, you know? Who's to say you're not mistaking it for a different one?
It's definitely that one. I got a good look at it. That'll hold up in court. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, was that?
It wasn't me.
Kay, words have no strength
Without evidence to back them up.
Ah, that's Mr. Edgeworth's voice.
Evidence. Present evidence. Do I have any evidence? To prove that this was the truck I saw today?
Huh? What's wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Why are you touching the truck?
The truck's body's cold to the touch. It seems to have been parked here for some time.
If only there were 2 trucks. You could figure all that out just by touching it?
What could prove that this is the truck I saw?
Fingerprints?
Yeah. I'd like to dust the truck for fingerprints.
Fingerprints? What for? I don't see any point in that.
Well, a certain person's fingerprints should be left on this truck, and those fingerprints will prove this truck was parked in front of the Grand Tower today. Whose fingerprints prove this truck was in front of the tower? 9. Lotta's fingerprints.
Edgeworth, your fingerprints?
Indeed. Earlier today, I touched a truck at the plaza in front of the Grand Tower.
Oh, you finally touched something, huh? Well, I bet that was a big moment for you.
I like the dust for my prints. Emma, might I request a scientific investigation?
Oh, that's why I'm here. That's what I'm here for. Just leave it to me.
At least she knows the score. She's one of the few characters who actually gets to exist outside of the main series. in the first series.
Alright, we're all set. Go ahead, Mr. Edgeworth.
Wait, you want me to do it here? Where's the truck?
Just pulls it in. Of course. Who else but Mr. Edgeworth should be up to the task? Kay's just like, oh my god, she's fucking strong.
Anime girl strength.
Here, I'll show you how it's done.
Alright then. You're the scientist. Why don't you just do it yourself?
First, we sprinkle some aluminum powder over the area you want to investigate.
Emma has a voyeurism thing. She's like, I like watching other people spray luminol.
Don't call it that.
Like this.
Like this.
Touch the screen to sprinkle the aluminum powder like a fucking monkey. Just go like...
What was that about a monkey? The powder will adhere to the fingerprints, so once you've sprinkled enough, you blow it away.
Blow it away.
Yeah, just blow on it with your breath. Whoosh!
Oh shit.
You have that set up on your modified DS, right?
Blow the powder away by blowing into the microphone, huh?
Got it?
Yeah, I think so. I guess we'll do it for real this time.
Just so you know, the key point is to sprinkle the powder all over.
Alright.
I
So,
like how we don't even
I
get an
think
image of a truck.
anyone who plays this does this.
Oh, it's very fun though to just. I
Mr.
wonder how many
Edgeworth,
entities-
you don't need that much.
Oh my god, Mr. Edgeworth, you're painting it.
Mr. Edgeworth, we're not going to be able to see anything.
I wonder how many entities the game can handle. Maybe it's just changing pixel colors. No, but then it has to remember where they were, so, yeah.
Almost done. Wait. Oh, ooh.
Alright, Simon, does this look like a very snowy day that you almost died in to you?
It's like, wow, thanks to the job, asshole. He is. Book him. Alright. Now to turn on my ability to blow. Let me just make an extra save state just in case this fucks up.
Yeah.
Microphone. Numpad 0. Okay. Hey! Wait, no, I probably need to set up my microphone too.
Oh, I just thought the button would just do like a blow noise in game.
Tools.
You're gonna like destroy my ears by blowing into the mic.
I don't think I'll have to.
Okay.
How the hell do you enable the microphone on Desmu? Microphone settings. Here we go.
Okay. I was about to Google
Not
it for you.
suitable for TAS. These modes require use of the mic hotkey. How do I like use microphone sample? Oh, I can make
Yeah.
a sample. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
All right, what's a good one? Ooh, I got it.
Can you record from your desktop? Because I have an idea, if you can.
Yeah, I could record from my desktop.
Okay, so through
I
Discord
need like
you can.
something to record it with. Do I have Moo? I don't know if I have Moo.
Okay, here
I have Audacity. I guess that works.
I'll send you an MP3. It might take me a second though.
That works better. I'm not gonna open Audacity.
Okay, I will be right back.
Am I talking about Audacity or Audacity?
Oh, actually, it'll be a lot easier and quicker if I just. I still have this downloaded. Was it in here? Here we go.
Yeah.
Gotta go to our DMs. Here you go.
Sure. Let's try that.
Don't say, Kayla didn't say I didn't get any use now.
Nope. You definitely can't say that. Alright. Download. Slap it there. Let's try this.
We probably won't hear it. It's just really funny.
But we'll know.
We'll know. The viewers won't. Unless you played it.
Oh, it has to be an 8-bit PCM mono wave file.
Alright, let's just look
Hold up.
bud.
Hold up. Hold up.
Uh-huh.
I might be able to use Audacity to convert it into an 8-bit PCM mono wave file.
God, okay.
File, import, audio, desktop. There we go.
It's impossible.
All right, that's the wave file. All right, now export audio as an 8-bit mono. I think it just has to be a wave file. Oh, but that's 16-bit. Would that work? Maybe. I'll try it. It's at least worth a go. Okay. All right. Download or desktop. It did it!
Okay.
Not a valid RF wave file. Must be 8-bit mono PCM. Okay. Sound settings.
Is there like a default one you can use?
I think there is. I can use white noise, I think.
Okay.
Which works because it's white. Yes.
There we go. And then, here's what it would have sounded like, kids at home. Hold on.
It's impossible.
We got one!
I guess it truly was impossible.
Yeah, meta. That's a nice clean fingerprint.
Wow, Mr. Edgeworth, I guess you just don't like blowing on things. No. No, I don't. Who does? Let's run the prints against mine post-haste.
Alright, just leave it to me.
I have your fingerprints always nearby.
I just have like a trading card binder full of the fingerprints of people that I know. These are definitely your fingerprints, Mr. Edgeworth. Wait, actually, sorry, I mixed up the binders. I matched your fingerprint against an island, but I guess you're a blue player.
Well, it seems that we have just proven your statement to be a lie.
Oh! What were you doing when you were driving this truck around? Just taking it for a joyride?
Kay was abducted 2 nights ago. Your balloon was sighted not too far from the scene. Today there was another kidnapping in which a garbage truck was used. And once again, your truck was seen nearby.
Well, this all sounds like nothing more than a pure coincidence to me.
So it's pure coincidence that you parked near 2 separate kidnappings? I really doubt that. You were involved in both kidnappings, weren't you?
Well, is it pure coincidence you're investigating 2 different kidnappings? I mean, come on. Well, is that a bit rash to automatically assume that the 2 kidnappings were connected?
And what if I had evidence to prove that these 2 crimes were performed by the same culprit?
Oh, you're serious? I can't wait to hear this.
What did Kay and John's kidnappings have in common?
There was a truck.
There was a truck. They were both drugged using
Yes,
the sleeping
drugs.
druggies. Kay was knocked out with a powerful sleeping drug, and a bottle of sleeping drugs was found lying in the place where John was confined. The contents of the bottle were a match with the drugs used on Kay.
Oh, so that's all you got, huh? And here I was getting my hopes up. So the same sleeping drug was used. So what? You think that connects the 2 incidents? Surely you must realize it yourself. That doesn't prove a thing. There must be something. Evidence that proves he's connected to these cases. So the police, prosecutors, and even you, Mr. Edgeworth, in the end, you're all the same. You make up evidence as you see fit, just so you can send some poor soul to prison. Isn't there someone like that here? A poor soul who was wrongly accused of in the past?
You're wrong. Who would do such a thing?
Then show me the evidence. If you're gonna accuse me of a crime, it's only natural.
It's no use. I can't seem to find any other threads linking him to the kidnappings.
Now then, have you finally run out of ammo, Mr. Edgeworth? I still have preparations to make at the circus, so, if you'll excuse me.
Now, you two.
No need to get so heated.
And Simon, you're looking good in that clown makeup.
I don't like the air quotes.
Hey, what's your deal? Don't just butt in like that.
Uncle Ray is not so good in such a stiff environment. I mean, why so serious, right?
Okay, come on. Come on.
I could, like, actually hear your chin and your shoulders, like, crinkling towards your face as you said. Like, oh.
You might have heard my chair creak.
Okay.
well.
Oh, what a little trick.
At last, my moment has arrived. The Great K Faraday presents a Simon impression. Objection.
Why, you enough already? Psst.
Hey, Miles, I'm buying you some time to get all your... I literally read that all your dicks in a row. I'm like, what? What does he mean? Is everyone... Alright, everyone, line up. Get all your ducks in a row. That would be a really good band name.
Dicks in a row.
Yeah. That would be really good. It's probably a better way to stall all this for time, but whatevs. Ooh, nice one, Kay. I'm not so sure about this method either. But I have to find something that connects Simon to the case, and I need to find it now. Is there evidence not related to the kidnapping that connects to the mastermind's identity? That's it. The mastermind's the same person as the young acolyte Dogen was looking for. If I can just connect the young acolyte to Simon. Which piece of evidence could be connected with the mastermind's true identity?
I mean, the correspondence chest could be like a handwriting analysis away. I know in real life that's pseudoscience, but in Ace Attorney it's not.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Oh, wait,
You
what
know-
about...
I mean, but we don't know that that's... If we can't prove it, that's voice.
Because it was
right?
voice changed.
He flashed back to Dogen, so I'm sure it's something to do with all that. Right? Otherwise it'd be
Fingerprints
weird.
on like this?
But it'd be weird to flash back to Dogen,
Yeah.
and then it not be related to Dogen.
I found it! This is the evidence that connects you to the case.
Really now? That's interesting. Well then, show me how it's connected.
Leave it to me. If you hold it like this and turn it this way.
Too bad. Epic fail, Mr. Edgeworth.
Whose side are you on anyway? Something. I have to find something. It simply must exist.
I mean, it could also just be the IS-7 case files, but... I guess that doesn't prove it. It's just that is, you know, a connection. What was I saying before that it was? Because I think that my first gut instinct might have been right.
I think he said it was the chessboard.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that.
Okay, what was the first thing you said?
Maybe it's on the next page? Oh, I said it was the chess correspondence because of, handwriting analysis.
Oh, that is what you said. I just thought you meant the chessboard. Okay, that makes sense.
See, I was wondering why you picked the chessboard out of nowhere. I was like, well, I guess he had a connection that, like, wasn't the case.
Yeah, no, that's correct. Natalie and Dogan both communicated through a certain individual.
Oh, then that somebody must be.
The mastermind behind the case. That's it. The mastermind played a role in the correspondence, Jess. If I can prove that it was Simon, then...
That's enough. I can't stomach any more of your sorry excuse for our performance. If you have no more objections, then I ask that you let me get back to preparing for the show.
Thank you for the help, Mr. Shields. They may have taken it a little too far. I sure look happy. I think you found something.
Look at me, I'm Simon. Simon the Clown. The funny, funny clown.
You'd be perfect for the circus. Have you committed any crimes recently?
Really? Well, I am a great thief.
Oh, that's great. That's perfect. We only hire criminals.
Oh, what did
Apparently.
you do?
I jaywalked. Thought we already went over this.
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, recently I started increasing my jaywalking.
What did the monkey do?
He ripped the child's head off. We don't
Wow.
have to talk about it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, well, it's okay. The child was a part of the circus before then anyway.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, he murdered an entire civilization of people.
Ah,
Okay, you can stop now.
that was.
Just imagine that entire dialogue with just Kay talking back and forth with himself. Now then, Mr. Keys, do you happen to like chess? What the fuck is your assistant talking about? That was a rather out of the blue. But since you asked, I can't say that I dislike chess. The mastermind played correspondence chess with Sirhan Dogan. I feel like if you actually run into a person that says, you know, I really can't say I dislike chess, run. They're probably like a fucking elitist at it. Masterclass.
I play the London.
The mastermind played correspondence chess with Sirhan Dogan. Third greatest chess master of the world. Kid starts screaming. If I recall, it was Knightley who had
been playing chess with Dogan, wasn't it?
Are you saying that he was the mastermind? There was no way Knightley could have been the mastermind. The reason being, the mastermind had continued to work behind the scenes even after Knightley's death. That being the case, who could have written this letter? I believe someone acted as the middleman between Dogan and Knightley.
So you're saying that you think I'm the middleman? And just why would I have gone to all the trouble to do something like that?
Most likely to make it appear as if there was a connection between Knightley and Dogan. And as a result, Knightley was killed by Patricia Rowland.
Yeah, no way. Are you saying it was all set up so you'd be killed by her?
What are you saying? There's no way I could manipulate a person that far. Look at me. It takes all I have just to get the animals to perform tricks.
Only just a scrap of the letters he exchanged with Knightley still remained. It'd be decisive evidence. Too bad Blaze burns every piece of paper within a 15-mile radius around him. I'd like to investigate your room. There could be decisive...
If it's the letters you're looking for, you won't find any in there.
What?
I'm the type of guy who throws his letters away as soon as he's done reading them. Where's the point in living in the past?
Does that mean he's already gotten rid of the evidence?
Ew, Mr. Edgeworth. Everything you've said so far has been nothing more than baseless conjecture.
The evidence. I'm just one step behind it. What should I do? Am I allowed to move?
Without evidence, I would allow you to cast doubt on my friendship with Knightley.
Who was that?
Excuse me.
Miss Barry, what's on her mind?
I've been, listening in on what you've all been saying, and, well, when you say Mr. Knightley, you mean Simon's friend Mr. Knightley, right?
Yes, nobody else has a name that stupid. Does she know something?
Well, this morning a letter arrived from Mr. Knightley. It was for Simon.
What?
What did you say?
But that's impossible. Knightley's already dead. Miss Barry, please let me see that letter.
Okay, here you go.
He was invited to Smash!
Quick, open it.
This is a correspondence chest letter.
Oh, I think he was placing the checkmate. How the fuck do you get your king in that situation? Really?
Wait, what's up? No, I think it says the path to checkmate, but it's not currently checkmate.
Oh, wait, no, it's not. Oh, right, those are actually his pieces, right.
But also, I mean, he does... Yeah, I mean, he's definitely winning. But whoever is black is in a really good position.
It's not just good, it's like, how do you lose?
I mean, mathematically you don't. But if you fuck up, you know.
I mean, he has a bishop and a rook. It looks like white has literally nothing.
If, like... Because in theory, you know, if we take white's moves out of the equation, you could win if you moved the bishop to what is it? Fucking... something 5. I guess that would be HGF.
E5?
D5. No, E. Sorry. Hold on, I can do math.
It
Nope,
has
this
the
isn't
letters
right.
down there. They're just a little hard to see.
No, I'm wrong
So
about
this is
the...
D, E, F,
I'm
G.
wrong about the thing I saw.
Okay.
Because I'm used to black and white chessboards, but here it's harder to tell the diagonals because it's just blank.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is the response to Dogen's last move.
Now, can you see the path to
Checkmate.
I can't wait to see the look on your face. You weren't expecting to lose a chess against me, right?
The postmark says March 26th, the day before Knightley's death. It seems the letter arrived late.
Since the circus moves around so much, a lot of the mail people send us arrives late.
Now, why was this letter addressed to you? He has rabbits. Why? This is proof that you were the middleman between Dogen and Knightley.
He just pulled them out of the ground like Pikmin.
Normally you would transcribe this letter into Braille before sending it to Dogen. And in doing so, you created a connection between him and Knightley.
Damn it! Curse you, Knightley! Why must you continue to interfere?
Wow, that's pretty blatantly, pretty an evil thing
Simon.
to say.
Why? Wasn't Knightley your only friend?
Don't be ridiculous. I have plenty of friends.
Like Max Galactica.
Oh no, we got rid of him.
What?
Mo!
No, we got rid of him too. He died.
Acro.
He went back to the hospital.
What about the puppet guy?
Oh, he
Everyone
is
loves
mega
him.
banned.
Oh.
Yeah, we're kind of looking for more criminals at the moment.
What about that Regina girl?
Oh, I'm being pulled away as we speak. All right, come with me, pal.
Oh,
Bye.
wait, you're her?
Guess the jaywalking finally caught up with me.
I stopped thinking of him as a friend about 18 years ago.
18 years ago? Would that have been the day of the IS-7 incident?
Thanks to Knightley, I nearly died in that stay in the snowstorm. While I was on my way to the contest venue where my father was waiting, Knightley suddenly appeared. He held me down, tied up my hands and feet, and with tears streaming down his face, he kept apologizing. My dad's too scary. I can't disobey him. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Stop it, Horace. I promised my dad.
I said I'd taste his desserts. If I'm not there, Dad'll be in trouble. I'm gonna let everyone know that Dad's desserts are the best in the world.
After that, he locked us inside a car. It was so cold I could feel my own breath. Before we knew it, the doors had frozen shut, and not even he could get them open. And then I lost my father.
Your father.
Horace Knightley was the son of the murderer who killed my father.
What could this mean? His confession runs contrary to the information we have. Well, the name of the victim in the I-7 incident was Isaac Dover.
Isaac Dover is my father's name. 18 years ago, my memories were muddled from the shock of my near-death experience. But it wasn't until later that I learned the truth. On that day, my father was murdered.
The culprit of the I-7 incident was a confectioner by the name of Dane Gustavia.
So that was the name of Knightley's father. That low-life scum of the earth killed my father. Just the thought of it makes me sick.
So you knew who the culprit was all along?
Of course not. Had I known, I would have tipped off the police a long time ago. All I knew was that Knightley's father was trying to set up my own father. That's why I immediately knew that the one who died that day was my dad. Knightley had a hand in my father's murder, the traitor. He was the son of the killer. It's only natural he ended up dead.
It would appear that you are a victim of a very serious misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding? Just what are you talking about?
Isaac Dover. At the time, he was actively working as a sculptor in France.
We're going to Paris, France?
Under the name Pierre Hoquet.
Is that right? Well, I'm sorry to say, I don't remember that at all.
It's only natural you don't remember. After all, he's not your real father.
Oh, was that supposed to be a joke? I'm not amused.
You won't be able to laugh at all once I reveal the truth to you. This piece of evidence proves that you were not Isaac Dover's son.
The mementos.
Where do we got the mementos at?
They're the chessboard in the ring.
Ah.
What's that? Isn't that Knightley's chessboard in his ring?
I want you to take a good long look at this ring's design.
There are 2 letters inscribed in it.
That is the seal Pierre Hoquet uses as his signature. 18 years ago, it was found lying near the body of Isaac Dover.
Why would Knightley have my father's memento with him?
The police had found Isaac Dover's son and gave it to him. Isaac Dover's real son is Horace Knightley.
What? But that means I'm...
In other words, you are Dane Gustavia's son.
That's a lie. After all, I'm... My father is... My memories are... I lost my father because Knightley locked me up in the car. That's why I thought it would be fitting if he were killed as well. Really? I'll be able to see a circus show even in prison? I enjoy playing chess with you, but I'm looking forward to your performance as well. Yeah, please look forward to it. All right, you better drop by again. I'll be thinking about my next move. Oh yeah, I've left something extra special inside that chessboard for you. You should check it out later. Something special? I'm not quite sure what you mean, but thanks. I owe you one, Simon. If only you hadn't stopped me 18 years ago. It wouldn't have had to come to this. Huh? Did you say something? Nope, not a word. Goodbye, horse.
You just know that was Sayonara in the original.
After all that, You're saying it was my father who killed Knightley? Then that means, was it all for nothing? I didn't want to become some weakling who could be killed by anyone. That's why I thought I'd follow in Mr. Dogan's footsteps.
This finally proves it. Simon Keyes, you are Dogan's correspondent's chess partner. And the mastermind behind this case.
That's right, it was me. I'm the mastermind behind it all.
He's finally showing his true colors.
As you all know, I witnessed the incident 12 years ago.
President Huang's assassination. So the child who drew that picture was Simon Keyes.
When I was found out, I was subjected to horrible interrogations over and over by that heartless Patricia. I'd spend the nights trembling on my bed, terrified of what the next day would bring. I'm sure you can understand why I'd want to sneak out of there, right?
However, Blaze would have likely sent pursuers after you.
Exactly. I was on the run from then every waking moment, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I couldn't even sleep at night. I'd jump at the slightest noise. And that's why I became a circus performer.
Oh, is that why criminals keep becoming circus performers? To hide? Wow. Now I understand.
Blaze the Best was the chief prosecutor, and Patricia Rowland was the warden of the prison. No ordinary person would be a match for those two. There were no adults I could rely on. Furthermore, behind the scenes was the body double, who had set up these two in motion. Though he was a fake, I was up against a nation's president. Talk about utter despair, right? My only ally was Mr. Dogan. He saved my life, after all. He actually helped me out, unlike Knightley.
If the story's true, it's pretty ironic. Dogan, the fiendish assassin, was idolized by the child he saved.
If I follow in his footsteps, I'd no longer have to worry about being eaten alive. That's right! Now it's my turn. My turn to devour those who would feed upon me.
And I suppose you never thought to seek help from the police.
No way, no way, no way! As long as Blaze is around, any evidence would be destroyed by him. Actually, didn't something like that almost happen the day during Patricia's trial? I knew it from the very beginning, that things would turn out like this.
The evidence from Patricia Rowland's trial. So he's saying that he expected the evidence would be destroyed. I see. So that's why you were kidnapped, John. To force a guilty verdict, even in the absence of evidence.
Who's to say? But in order to expose the crimes of 12 years ago, there was no other choice.
That's according to you. However, Blaze also attempted to kidnap John in order to manipulate the trial in his favor. Your methods are no different than those of the people you so despise.
That's only if we were actually the kidnapper. But I'd never do anything though evil. No way, no way, no way! I simply couldn't! Besides, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm actually quite thankful to the real criminals for giving me the opportunity to extract such sweet revenge.
So you admit it. Your motive was revenge.
Yeah, I admit it. So what? Sure, I held a grudge against those creeps. But it's not like I'm the only one who actually killed them. You know? Truth be told, all I did was send some letters. I let Jill in on Blaze's secrets. And let Blaze in on Jill's secrets. And then those two simply ended up trying to kill each other.
Do you mean to say that the murder was nothing more than a result of that?
Yep! Just like the case at Gourd Lake. It's way easier than trying to control wild animals. All I did was come up with a fake assassination plan for Knightley.
So that was also a part of his plan. If that's the case, then Rook's murder was also yours.
Whoa! Don't try to pin that on me. Knightley killed them all on his own. Well, ended up creating the perfect opportunity for me. It's funny how things work out sometimes.
How can you say such a thing?
It was the same for Patricia Rowland. I made it look like there was a connection between Knightley and Dogan by using the correspondence chess match and the chisel in the chessboard.
What? You mean to say that you were the one who prepared that chisel?
That's right. I thought it'd bring Dogan to mind. Quite a thoughtful little gift, wouldn't you agree? And that was all it took to get Patricia to murder Knightley. Oh, the feeling that everyone around you's an enemy. I know it all too well. The tiniest spark can set off an explosion of fear, resulting in horrific mutual destruction. All I did was watch the comedy of errors unfold from the audience. And you were my final pawn, Mr. Edgeworth.
Pawn. Me.
When you solved their cases, you brought both Blaze and Patricia to their ruin. And the weapon that delivered the coup de grace was your own logic.
I didn't solve those cases for your sake.
Oh, I know. You never really cared about saving me. You just wanted to pretend to be a defense attorney, didn't you? Or did you? All I had to do was go no way, no way, no way, and act all scared. And you totally believed me. You were giving it your all to trying to save me.
So even your arrest was just a ploy to make me use my logic?
To be fair, getting arrested wasn't part of the plan. When people began to suspect that the chisel I sent was the murder weapon, well, honestly, I broke out in a cold sweat. I thought for sure it'd be curtains for me. But then, a turnabout of miraculous proportions. The genius prosecutor himself had come to my rescue. Well, doesn't it feel nice to be thanked by me? The one you saved? You should be grateful. I gave you this chisel to play the ace attorney.
This chance to play the ace attorney? You're wrong. He wasn't pretending to be a defense attorney. Mr. Edgeworth is always serious about saving people. Even the times when he saved me in the past.
Okay. Is that so? Are you sure he's not just trying to emulate his own father? The one he admires oh so much?
Absolutely not. That's not true at all.
Well, now, Kay. The person he's talking about now is Miles, but rather Simon himself. Clearly, he's not able to trust others. The desire to save someone other than himself is something he can't even comprehend. Say what you want. Make sure you think about it long and hard. I mean, sure, all my targets for revenge get what they deserve in the end. However,
Instigating murder?
think about it. Can any one of my actions really be considered a crime? I instigated murder? Well, there's not a single word about that in the letter, is there? All I'd said the word... Well, if I had said the word kill even once, I guess it could be considered instigation. I don't know. Well, maybe I did say it, but there's no way for you to prove it.
What are you saying? You kidnapped me.
Well, I'm sorry, but that hasn't been proven yet either, has it? The only thing I admitted to you was sending the letters.
Okay, Discord. Discord's just like, no, you are having too much fun. Halt. Halt. You are having too much fun. It is so funny how this consistently happens, and I have no idea why. Once per recording. Once per recording. Once per recording.
Was that a Discord or a blue screen?
No, it wasn't a blue screen. It's just
That's
every classic Discord nonsense.
Mhm.
I don't think you missed anything.
I missed the line. Oh, let's see where we're at. I missed the last line, I think.
Okay. It was him... saying that we haven't proven that he was the one who kidnapped Kay yet. And she goes, that's...
Right. I think he... See, I heard him say that, and then I thought
All
that
he
was
did
another
was
line.
send the letters.
Besides, those letters contain no threats or coercions. I simply conveyed information. Information that each recipient would find beneficial.
You crafty little...
Can't we do something about it? What was it he said? Integrating murder?
Instigating murder is when a person indirectly or directly sends someone else to commit murder. The person who directed the murder can be charged as if he'd committed the crime himself.
So we just have to find proof that he directed those murders.
You make it sound so easy. To be honest, it kind of pisses me off a little. You're all trying to frame an innocent person for murder. Don't you understand? I'm not obligated to waste any more time on this pointless discussion. The police are waiting for you outside of this tent. You got nowhere else to run. Really now? You think I wouldn't have an escape route plan? I have a hot air balloon. For example, let's say I gave an order so that all the animals here attacked you. Now, what if I were to take my leave during the ensuing chaos? What'd you say? You can't be serious. It was just an example. Wouldn't that make for an interesting show, though? Here's another idea. What if I pulled out a hidden gun and took John hostage? That might be more exciting.
I will never allow you to do such a thing.
I can't tell whether or not Simon's being serious, but he did just threaten someone with an imaginary gun, so perhaps we should hold him. However, when it comes to him, we should consider anything a possibility.
You can continue to bore me with your drivel on the show right here. I'd like you to keep that in mind before you make any baseless objections.
I can't make any careless remarks. Isn't there some way I can charge him with his crimes?
We might want to press all of his lines.
I don't know if what they just said was them being like, oh yeah, if you press anything without objecting.
I think when they do that, they show the health bars about to go down, like here, right?
You incited others to commit murder and they did so. If proof of that was established, you would be charged as if you yourself committed the murders.
I know I heard it just a while ago, but what's the technical term again?
It's instigating murder, okay? Blaze, Patricia Rowland, and Knightley. Their crimes are unforgivable, of course. However, the one who pulled the strings from behind the scenes and drove them all to murder was none other than you, Simon Keyes.
Mr. Edgeworth, you really do speak your mind freely. But you know.
Yeah, they didn't mark us for that.
Okay. There's not a single word.
Oh, does that surprise you? You'd reach the same conclusion if you examined it.
Given his composure, I'd say he's not bluffing. Does this mean that every single word in his letter had been carefully calculated?
Well, I guess you could say this is like a teaching a monkey to climb a tree. Unless you can somehow prove that I caused those murders, you've got nothing on me. Ergo, you can't accuse me of instigating murder. What a shame, Mr. Edgeworth.
Has he said the word kill once?
Let's check the correspondence.
What about the most recent letter? Do we have the most recent letter? We do not. What if somehow he made the pieces spell out kill?
That'd be really interesting. I feel like there's a low chance though that like Knightley or whoever got that and was like,
We have the
oh,
chisel?
kill. Yeah, I guess I should kill.
What about the chisel that Dogen got?
I don't think so. What are the SS5? That's the thing with the president. Alright, okay. Yeah. We might have to press more.
Probably. I know you instigated the murders.
Perhaps I should let you in on this, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, I was the one who ordered Blaze the Best to kill Jill Crane.
Did you do Simon's voice for that, thinking it was him originally?
I
think I
thought
remember
he
that.
was a part of it for a while now, but I was not 100% on the it was Simon train. I was still partially on the Nicole train, but I do think I did think that Simon was a part of it. He gave me very much Adachi vibes. Well, this whole session, you know, we say that, but like every fucking session is Adachi, and then like fucking Fulbright.
We went extra hard in on the Dual Destinies this time, though. I think.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then we can ruin it by going in extra hard on other spoilers.
So Olaf dies in Frozen 2.
God damn it! What the hell?
They bring him back.
Amori's sister dies. You tell me yourself.
But you know, the funny thing is, it must mean absolutely nothing if you have no proof. I mean, there's no way I'd ever see something like that. No way, no way, no way, no way!
That's certainly true. It means absolutely nothing if I can't prove it. There was some evidence that could prove what he said over the phone.
Okay, so it is just it's the recorder on the last.
Maybe I did say it, but there's no way for you to prove it.
I guess it would be on this one actually. Because maybe I don't know, but
I don't think
either
it would
way,
matter.
it should work on both. But yeah, it would be the Nicole's recorder.
Yeah. Yeah. It is my firm conviction that you instigated the murders. After all, you told me so yourself.
Perhaps I should let you in on this, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, I was the one who ordered Blaze the Best to kill Jill Crane.
What?
Well, did I say that? I really don't remember.
You may think you can deceive us as much as you want. But unfortunately for you,
Unfortunately.
you used a bug to eavesdrop on our conversations. But there was someone else who wiretaped that bug of yours and recorded the whole thing.
It was recorded. In other words, the conversation between you and that clown is recorded on that tape. Nyah! Langzi says, a schemer drowned in his own schemes. And that is what he meant.
Miss Swift, I'd like you to listen to your tape. Oh, okay. She like puts her headphones on and listens to it. Miss Swift, I'd like to listen to your tape. Oh, that's what you meant. Got it.
Roger. Bear trap, go.
Tape recorder, go.
Ah, it's right about here.
Mr. Edgeworth, Judge Courtney's cell phone is ringing.
Mr. Edgeworth, Judge Courtney has a really cool ringtone. She like goes, thank you.
Yeah.
Who is this? Are you the person who ambushed Kay?
Mr. Edgeworth, I want to listen in on this too.
Very well. This is where it starts.
Well, I must say.
Huh? That's odd.
What's wrong?
Well, there ain't nothing recorded past this point.
What?
Why? Why wasn't it recorded?
Too bad, so sad. You really think I'd leave behind any incriminating evidence? The bug I planted had a special feature. It can be turned on and off with a remote control.
What? That sort of thing exists?
Certainly, remote-controlled listening devices do exist, however.
Are you saying you switched off the device so that your own voice would not be recorded?
Precisely! Impossible. You couldn't have done that unless you knew you were being recorded. Isn't it obvious I knew? I guess you just don't get it. You could call it a hunch. I had a feeling I was being wiretapped. Miss Swift, was it? I figured things out because you knew about the kidnapping.
Don't tell me. You were listening in on that conversation.
That's right! Though, come to think of it, I'm surprised you didn't realize it until now. Some genius prosecutor you turned out to be, Mr. Edgeworth.
Actually, I'm not a prosecutor right now.
Oh my. And what was the end result of all this? Ah, since you don't have any proof of the instigating charges, it's G.O. Game over.
Mr. Prosecutor, was my recording no help to you at all? Ain't there something, anything at all in my recording?
Miss Swift.
Okay.
Yes?
The bug you planted in your badge, right? You have any ideas?
How do you expect me to come up with an answer right off the top of my head? You were the only one who came into contact with the culprit. I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
Who the hell's that?
She's pretty. Can she join the circus? Over your dead body!
I am no criminal. Yet.
But what about that one time? We don't talk about that one time.
How unsightly, y'all fussing over useless evidence. Let's move on to the next topic. Next!
What's this? He seems a bit eager to change the topic of conversation.
You were the only one who came into contact with the culprit.
That was 2 seconds ago.
Like Toonsoft.
Only Kay came into contact with Simon. If any sound was recorded at the time she was with the culprit. Miss Swift, how long have you been recording?
Since 2 nights ago, I reckon.
You have that much tape?
Yeah.
Since 2 nights ago. Well, in that case, when could a conversation with Simon possibly have been recorded?
2 nights ago.
Amazing answer. 2 nights ago. I think the game is starting to hand us a little bit of an easy time here.
Yeah. A little bit
Simon
of
brought Kay to the roof. If we listen to the recording from that time frame, Miss Swift, please let us listen to the recording from 2 nights ago.
Huh? Well, okie dokie. This is the sound of a hot air balloon.
Well, that's right. At the time, Simon was carrying Kay in a hot air balloon. Ergo, he was near Kay. Isn't there anything else recorded?
I'm just gonna do my evil villain monologue right now.
I'm Simon Keys, and I'm an evil villain.
Ah, that was...
Gunshot.
Huh. Seems you were quick to deactivate the bug. However, you were a little too late. He can't run anymore. That gunshot ties you to the case.
What are you saying? There's no gun involved in this case, is there?
No. There should be someone connected to the case who fired a gun. Let's strike with the evidence that points to that person. Which piece of evidence connects the gunshot to the case? Who was shot? That is from way long ago.
I forget the fucking evidence. He wasn't shot. It would have been sometime. Oh no, there's the gunpowder. Well, that's.
Oh, he did. He did fire a gun. Because he has
Yeah.
gunpowder residue from his hand. This fucker shot a gun! I'm wondering about what that was for, like, the longest time. It's written right here in the body double's autopsy report. Gunpowder residue was detected in his right hand. Where was Kay at the time this gunshot was recorded? Well, that's right. She was being carried to the roof of the Grand Tower in your balloon. And as it turns out, there was a few more people on that very same rooftop at the time.
You mean the double and me? Ah, certainly, after we talked for a brief moment, the body double noticed something and had me leave before him.
Now what if the gunshot rang out after that attack? We can clearly hear it in the recording. I thought that you wouldn't have noticed it. Do you intend to feign ignorance until the very end? There's nothing more than conjecture! What we heard on the recording was not just a gunshot. If you listen closely, you can hear the bullet hitting something. But the body double was aiming at Simon then. The bullet may have struck which piece of evidence. It might have hit the balloon. The body double likely fired the gun at the balloon. If we assume that the bullet hit something, it would have been the balloon's basket.
Let's examine it immediately. Probably the underside. Yep.
Oh, what do we have here? Click. This hole.
It's a bullet hole.
Good thing Kay wasn't shot.
I'm always saying this.
A bullet hole was found in the basket. You won't be able to take your way out of this one. Talk your way, not take your way. How do you intend to explain the gunshot and the bullet hole? So you figured it out. You're good. I guess it's impossible to hide anything from you. Spit it out already. Okay. No need to be impatient. It's impossible to hide anything from you. Proceeds to continue lying.
Yeah.
It happened when I was riding the balloon to the rooftop. I saw the body double and you, Miss Courtney, on the roof. Talk about a surprise! Only the double noticed me. He told Miss Courtney to leave ahead of him.
I guess she didn't hear the gunshot? He then pointed a gun at me and fired.
This elevator music is phenomenal.
I
Why
like
did
the
you want to shoot down
gunshot
the balloon?
edition.
It's simple. The body double had intended to kill Miss Courtney.
Kill me.
That's right. You talked to the double about John, didn't you? Well, it's not like the body double would have met you otherwise. From his point of view, it was like showing him evidence that he was a fake.
You mean he was afraid of Judge Courtney because she knew about John's past?
Afraid? That's exactly right. That body double was a coward after all. I even remember how his hands were trembling when he fired the gun at my balloon. Are we all clear now? I was only there by chance. Just a friendly witness who was passing by.
With Kay in the balloon.
Friendly witness!
He's, saying that she wasn't in the balloon.
Then how did we get the tape recording? What the fuck is he
That's
talking
not his. It's not his problem, right?
But it was inside Kay's badge.
Sure, but we don't. But you can't I don't think you can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt in court that that sound is that event happening.
Yeah.
And even if it is, that doesn't prove that he had her with him.
Eyewitness testimony from the balloon.
That means if Simon hadn't come,
Judge Courtney would have probably been in danger.
so wouldn't that mean he saved her life?
The motive behind Mr. Keyes' actions was probably not so noble. After all, this man was there to commit a crime just like the fake president. To expose his crimes, I'll need to listen carefully to his testimony. There must be an opening somewhere.
Might mean it's time to press again.
It's time to press. Around what time was that?
I think it was around 11 p.m. It should coincide with the time Miss Courtney and the company were on the roof, right?
Yes, it was indeed around that time.
There doesn't seem to be any contradictions. However, the time frame is important.
And it was at that moment.
Talk about a surprise. Are you saying this rooftop rendezvous was beyond your expectations?
Oh, there's no way I could have known about that beforehand. Well, once the dust settled, I could guess what would have happened, though. The double had intended to kill Miss Courtney. Hey, did you realize that?
No, I did not realize it.
Well, it's because you were blabbing on and on about that dumb kid. What kind of mother are ya? Things have gone badly. Your kid could have died because of you.
I'm your opponent, not her. Don't change the conversation. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to please leave this to me.
My apologies, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Oh, Goddess of Law. Please watch over this man and grant him aid.
You're making me laugh. Lady didn't even notice the balloon. The body double didn't even make a face and go like, holy shit, there's a balloon. He's just like,
Yeah.
There's a balloon. Hey, Courtney, can you go inside? Okay. La 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 la. What's that burning sound? She probably had her AirPods in. You couldn't see the truck.
That's it.
He had her leaving ahead of him. Didn't you say the body double had planned to kill her?
Well, maybe he thought it would have been bad if someone saw the scene of the murder. At the time, no one knew that the president was a fake, right? Once he got the info on John, he'd be able to kill both mother and son whenever he wanted. Hey, goody, she's dead. Now you're both safe. You should be happy.
Whatever emotions you have towards that man, please put them aside until it's all over. For now, please continue your story.
As you wish. And so that cowardly body double must have panicked when an eyewitness suddenly appeared from the skies. He then pointed a gun at me and fired.
The bullet struck the balloon's basket cleanly.
I panicked and quickly tried to get away so he wouldn't shoot me down, but... Talk about a close call.
You say you tried to get away right then?
That's right. Is there any problem?
Is there a problem with this statement?
Yeah.
You must have placed K on the rooftop. You couldn't have gotten away before then, correct?
Well, yeah. Well, that's right. I forgot. After the body double fired one shot, he entered the hatch to the 51st floor. I looked around for a bit, then I landed on the roof.
Please add that statement to your testimony. The fact that you literally just admitted that you kidnapped Kay.
Fine.
No.
Sure, I don't mind. After the body double fired the shot, he entered the hatch on the 51st floor.
I think we have evidence that he didn't, right?
Yeah. You mean the hatch that leads to the hidden storeroom for the black market auction?
Black market auction. Huh?
What are you talking about, Mr. Edgeworth?
I don't really want to remember, but that was 2 days ago, right?
Indeed. The black market auction was held on the 50th floor of the Grand Tower.
Who's Monodam? A lot of people must have been coming and going through the storeroom during the incident. Nice fucking
Indeed.
Blue Badger shitpost.
It's also like the original Blue Badger, too. The
Yeah.
spooky one.
Mhm.
They're also fat. Indeed, if the double truly did enter the storeroom as Simon said, it's strange that no one noticed him. The problem here is when the incident occurred. If we know the precise moment, then a certain piece of evidence may come in handy.
Yeah, because I think because of the... Do we still have the records for, like, the locked door? Because that's a thing, right? It's like the... Not that, but the door to the, like, room the elevator goes to.
Oh god, there's no way we still have that, right?
Maybe it's Lotta's testimony? Because she was hiding in there? Yeah, look at that.
Ah. Thank you, Lotta. Again. Bow before my greatness. Once again, you have lied. Lied? The body double could not have entered the storeroom on the 51st floor 2 nights ago. Miss Hart's testimony proves it. What? How can you trust that sham journalist's testimony? What'd you say?
You can't saw my mentor like that, Bear Trap, go!
2 nights ago. 2 nights ago, that lady was staking out the 51st floor. Given that, just how the heck did the body double leave the roof?
Indeed, that is what we must prove. If he did not use the elevator, or the 51st floor to leave the roof, then only one route remains. He fucking Mission Impossibled his way up to the fucking balloon.
I mean, I think what happened is that Simon killed him.
How'd the body double leave the roof without using the elevator to the 51st floor?
It would be the balloon.
Yeah. He was crushed. I wonder if that count. No, him falling would
Oh
have
my
made a
god,
bloody
what
pile.
if the balloon crushed him to death?
That would be really silly, but then there'd be blood in the... Actually, there was no blood in the bottom, like anything.
Yeah, there was no blood.
He was just crushed by a giant, stupid-ass balloon.
Yeah, it could happen.
I killed him with the balloon.
The body double flew.
He.
Blue.
Mr. Edgeworth, we know what you mean. Can you, like, say it in a way that doesn't make one of us say a stupid remark like, "Oh, really? He splattered rings and flew away?" No. He has to be coy about it. Simon Keys, he rode in your balloon. Okay, no one made the stupid comment. Nice.
Hey, stop joking around. Wow, and I have needed to give the body double a lift.
The elevator had a security camera, and the 51st floor was being watched by Miss Hart. Your balloon was the only way the body double could have left the roof.
At the circus, we often perform dangerous stunts in order to surprise the audience. You think you got me cornered? Sorry, but the show ends here.
What?
You, Lotta, was it? I'd like to ask you something. Are you saying you stood watch on the 54th floor the entire time without any breaks? Well, wrecking course. Ain't no mistaking my testimony. Really now? Didn't the sound of Mr. Edgeworth's assistant falling into the storeroom cause you to faint? I didn't mention it before, but after that, I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I half fainted? Well, something like that.
So something did happen. Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling onto the storeroom floor.
What's your point? Nobody's perfect. Look at her, Mr. Edgeworth. That's the kind of person you're relying on.
Kay fell into the storeroom after the body double had left the roof.
Oh, in that case, I have a theory on how things happened. After that cowardly body double fired a shot at me, he went and hid in the shadows until Kay fell into the storeroom.
What?
So what if he was hiding?
Good grief, you guys still haven't noticed? What if the body double stayed hidden until Lotta fainted, and then he went down to the 51st floor?
That can't be.
Precisely. The locked room mystery on the roof has been unlocked.
He even said it in my voice, apparently.
But wait, there's more. I told the hidden body double about John Marsh. That's why he attacked John the next day during practice, but got himself killed instead. In other words, the one who murdered the body double was none other than John.
John had no motive to kill the body double.
He knew. He knew he was the real president's son.
And how would he have known that?
Because I told him so. In a letter.
What did you say?
That is a lie.
Yep, it's all a lie.
Huh? Does this guy actually kin Kokichi?
But then again, maybe not. Maybe I really did tell him. Right, John?
It's true that I caused Mizulla's head to fall.
And that I can...
Nagito.
Mom, stop making that noise.
I can't help it. It is an automatic response when you say that name.
The goddess of law asks me to do it.
But I didn't know about my dad until today. I'm not lying.
There's something very fucked up about the goddess of law kinning Kokichi. It's like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
No, really. I wonder about that. I found out about the head falling thanks to the bug. Now, if you were the ones who caused the fall and the body double were crushed to death, well, that settles it. You're the culprit. You successfully carried out your revenge. Congratulations. All the pieces of the puzzle are now in place, as Mr. Edgeworth would say.
The logic fits. Now then, any rebuttals?
Manipulating humans into fighting with each other. Sounds just like me, right? I did the same thing to Knightley and Blaze. At any rate, there's no way the body double could have gone for a ride in my balloon. The body double was crushed by the monster's head, right? And who was it that caused the monster's head to fall? I won't say. Do you understand now who the body double's real killer is? The truth that I provided them gave a big motive for murder. Get it? Those two tried to kill each other because of the truth you're so fond of. Impossible. Hey, you detectives over there have been arrested as murderer. What's wrong? Why'd you moving? Damn. I thought so. Just admit it. In the end, aren't you all the same as Blaze and the body double? You ignore the prime suspect and come after me without any evidence. How easily it could be distorted to best suit your needs, this law you all believe in!
That is by no means true.
If you're not gonna arrest anyone, maybe I should have a talk with the policemen outside. If I tell them John Marsh is the killer, they'll be forced to take action.
Simon Keyes, your testimony isn't over yet.
Really? I figured you'd try to stop me, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any evidence, do you? Which means there's no chance for you to win. Right. But if you plan to stop me, you should be prepared to take on this much risk.
What? That much? It's so video gamey.
Yeah.
It's only natural. After all, the fate of the true culprit John Marsh is at stake here. 2 chances. Hey, Miles. Why don't you just take a nice deep breath?
Mr. Shields?
At times like this, you should take a breather and think back. Defense attorneys always remain calm in a pinch and smile in the face of danger. The point of contention between your logic and his claims lies in the body double's escape route. How's about, for example, we think of it like this. What's important isn't whether or not the body double got on the balloon, but rather, if we were to assume he did, what circumstances would have allowed for that? Turn my thinking around.
Pour bleach in his eyes.
Well, all I'm doing is a cheap imitation of your old man. Did it help?
Circumstances that would have allowed the body double to get in the balloon. That's right. The body double not only had a large build, but he also had a gun. And in spite of that, no traces of sleeping drugs were found in his system. Which means it can't be.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you ready yet? Hope you haven't forgotten about this.
I haven't forgotten about it. This is bad. I must break his testimony somehow.
So, I think it's the crushed by the, by the headline and you present the balloon, right?
Yeah. I did the same thing to Knightley and Blaze. At any rate, there's no way the body double could have gone for a ride in my balloon. The double was crushed by the monster's head, right? Allow me to propose a question. Was the double really crushed beneath the monster's head?
For a genius prosecutor, you sure are quick to withdraw your previous statements. Weren't you the one who deduced that he was crushed by the monster's head to begin with?
Indeed. I certainly came to that conclusion once before. However, that was when we knew of nothing else that was capable of crushing him to death.
Knew? Why, the past tense. It's not like there's anything else now, you know.
The body double was crushed to death by the monster's head. That is an unshakable fact. Is there nothing else? Some decisive evidence that connects this man to the crushed president?
How unsightly, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you just stop this useless struggle?
Besides, don't you already know who the culprit is, remember? And who is it that caused the monster's head to fall?
Darn it, does he intend to play innocent until the very end?
The body double cause of death was rather unique. If he was crushed under the monster's head,
Then the killer would be John after all. Isn't there anything else that could have crushed the double?
something else that could have crushed the body double.
Yeah. Next one, yeah.
What about the balloon best?
John was not the one who killed the body double. He was crushed by a monster.
Quit clatting around. This isn't like you at all. Oh, I get it. Since John's supposed to understand the heart of a monster.
The one who understands the heart of monsters is you. Considering you are one.
Not even I have monsters for friends, you know.
Stop being so modest. Didn't you have one very important friend? A monster you control at will.
The monkey.
Simon Keys, you're the one who killed the body double.
That's
The lion balloon. A monster made of cloth that expands when filled with hot air. It suits you quite well, wouldn't you agree? You saying I'm full of hot air?
sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've been fixated on your claim that you manipulated John and the body double. Probably because it's an impossible fantasy of yours. After all, even an animal tamer cannot tame the dead. The body double had already been murdered while he was on the roof. And the murder weapon was the balloon you were in.
I see. Although it floats in the air, that balloon still weighs several hundred pounds.
When the double threatened you on the rooftop, you immediately came up with a plan to defend yourself. And that plan was to crush him with your balloon. Whether the body double wanted to get on, or that he was carrying a gun, none of that mattered. Because what you carried in your balloon was the body double's corpse.
Hold on a second, Mr. Edgeworth. You're saying the double was killed on the rooftop 2 nights ago? Well, that simply doesn't match up with the time of death.
What did you say?
That's not like you at all, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a good look at the autopsy report.
The time of death. I'll tell you.
Was around 11 p.m. last night.
Last night?
That's right. The very night that Muzilla's head fell. Well, Johnny boy, come on. How about telling us the truth? You killed your father, right? I know the feeling. You hated him, didn't you? Technically, he did not kill his father. He killed the body double of his father. Your father who left you all alone forever.
You're wrong. I had no idea that guy was my dad.
Not this again. Didn't I personally tell you myself? Is my logic wrong? Mr. Edgeworth, allow me to thank you once again for chasing down Blaze and Patricia and bringing them both to ruin. My revenge is a success, all thanks to your logic. If only the time of death matched up, then my logic would fit.
Wait, it's daylight savings.
It's leap year. Perhaps he did something to throw off the time of death. Almost Christmas isn't Christmas. And what's more, Dane Gustavia was... You even took down the culprit of the IS-7 incident. Yeah, I've had a busy week, don't remind me. Dane Gustavia and the IS-7 incident. That's it. Gustavia Dover killed Dover and hit his body in a block of ice. Mr. Gustavia intended to freeze the body in order to throw off the time of death. If the time of death had coincided with the Tea Party, Mr. Gustavia would have been suspected. Yeah, that is correct. Like father, like son. It's a shame I didn't get to witness his destruction.
How can you say that? Wasn't Mr. Gustavia your father, Simon?
Fathers don't lock their kids in cars.
Fathers don't pour bleach in their kids' eyes.
Hey, don't talk about my father that way.
I'm scared. I'm so scared. Mr. Rowland keeps asking me about that day. Daddy, help me. Why would you come save me? Is it because I broke my promise with you and didn't eat your sweets? I couldn't care less. My father left me all alone. Even if we share the same blood, that man is not my father.
I hate to say it, but like father, like son, you're the spitting image of him, Simon. The father you hated so much.
What are you talking about?
It must have been fate. By sheer coincidence, you just happened to use the exact same method your father did. To throw off the victim's time of death.
Yeah, we rescued him from the refrigerated warehouse near the harbor, pal.
Refrigerated warehouse.
You're saying I threw off the time of death? How would I have done that?
The answer lies in where you hid the body's double. I hope you remembered which one it was. Throwing off the time of death by freezing the body, along with John's kidnapping. It seems that everything's coming together.
Kidnapping? Why are we going back to that? I don't know a thing about it.
Don't forget, John was confined in a refrigerated warehouse. That's right. You kept the body double's corpse in that very same warehouse. 18 years ago, your father hid a body in the same way.
What? My father, the one who'd abandoned me, did the same thing?
Who would have guessed that both father and son would use the same method?
Stop it! Don't let me in with that guy! My father, I'm nothing like him. There's not a single connection between us.
You may think so, but even now your bond, Mr. Gustavia, still remains. Didn't you say it once before? I don't like sweets. That may have come from the shock of losing your father, don't you think?
You guys have no idea what you're saying!
Even if you deny your father, aren't your thoughts and actions the same? Particularly, your belief of sacrificing others to protect yourself. And finally, your crimes were brought to light
just as his were. Just kidding. I don't know anything about that warehouse. I had nothing to do with the kidnapping, after all. In order to threaten Judge Courtney, it's clear that you partook in the kidnapping. How scary. Those who get involved, you would be charged with all sorts of crimes, won't they? In the end, there's no evidence for the instigation and for the kidnapping. None at all. Or what? Are you gonna forge some evidence? Just like Blaze and the rest? Just like your father? I'll do nothing of the sort. Can't let him provoke me. You always say, I'll pursue the truth no matter what. Right? Don't you mean only the truth that's most convenient for you? After all, that's how the police pull the wool over the eyes of those without power. And that's why my revenge was necessary. None of you can catch me. Not Patricia, not Blaze. Not even you.
Mr. Edgeworth, at this rate, isn't there something, anything we can do?
Even through all my logic points to this man. I just need evidence. Even a single piece of evidence will suffice. Well, it's been a fun show, but it looks like it's time for the curtains to close. If you like, why don't you come and see my next performance? I'll let you, if you admit defeat. Who was that?
The killer, right? Nope, okay.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Edgeworth.
Gummy, where'd you go?
I was just doing the job I'm able to do, pal. Well, Detective Gumshoe, your report, please. Maybe you'll even get a salary increase for this. I did a quick investigation, sir, but the warehouse John was at. Well, that refrigerator warehouse is currently being rented by a very big circus, just as Mr. Edgeworth said. So it finally ends here. Our trump card. Well done, Detective Gumshoe. Now then, Mr. Keys. Well, there must be some mistake. Maybe it has something to do with the circus.
I mean, actually...
I see, indeed. We are not well informed with the affairs of the circus. In fact, we try to avoid them at all costs.
Yes.
I would not be surprised if there were not at least 5 active members who were hiding a body inside that warehouse.
Regina just, like, kicks a carpet over, like, a fucking pit.
It's like a spike pit filled with blood and dead fly pit corpses.
Nothing. I just jaywalked, that's all. Hee.
In that case, why don't we get your boss's opinion on this? Oh, Regina. Renting a refrigerated warehouse to store animal food, but I don't know much about the place. After all, I let Simon handle everything. Curse you! Simon, how scary. What a shame. It seems your desperate actions after the crime were in vain. If the body was found in the warehouse, suspicion would have fallen on you, the one in charge. That's why you specifically moved the body back to the Grand Tower, wasn't it? However, us finding John confined to the warehouse was a fatal mistake on your part. Our resident great thief and detective are both rather exemplary. What's wrong? I can't even tell through your face paint that you're looking pale. I can't even tell. It's not over yet, Mr. Edgeworth. Your logic is missing the most important piece of evidence. No, please do tell. Isn't it obvious? Evidence that I killed the body double with the balloon! You can't present it, can you? After all, there's no way such evidence possibly could exist! The evidence. It exists. What you say?! If Mr. Keyes murdered the victim, traces of the murder should still remain here.
Probably the body, right? Maybe that yellow shit is like lamp oil? Ropes? Bombs? Oh no, like that was the pollen.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Do we have the lion lilies, though?
No we don't.
Oh,
It still might be... Oh yeah, look at that, we do. I don't
Remember
know
he
why
was
the
carrying a
traces-
bouquet?
I mean, he was.
Pretty.
It might be that, but I'm not sure why it would be that. I think it might just be the body itself. I mean, it's either the body or the balloon, right? Oh, maybe the balloon has pollen on the underside. Guess it doesn't look like it does, but still. Maybe it was, maybe like with luminol, you can find pollen. I don't fucking know. Once you've proven he's the culprit, let's tie him up with his rope. As an expert in rope escapes, I know how to make knots that can never be untied.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, but handcuffs seem like a more reliable alternative.
Never fear, I'll guard the gas tank. I'll stop Simon from trying to escape with the balloon.
I find it kind of hard to imagine that he would try a stunt like that.
Never fear, just focus on putting him behind bars, Mr. Edgeworth. I took a ride in this basket, didn't I?
Indeed you did. You'd been drugged, so it would make sense if you don't remember it.
Could have at least kept me awake so I could enjoy the hot air balloon ride. I'll never forgive you, Mr. Mastermind. Beat him to a pulp, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm sorry to disappoint Kay, but if I did that, I would be arrested for battery.
Oh, there's a stain there, actually.
The gunshot fired by the body double was recorded on the tape, and this is where the bullet hit its mark. There's no way Simon can deny that now.
Mr. Edgeworth, you absolutely have to expose the truth. I even got kidnapped in order to steal this evidence.
Leaving aside whether or not I would call that stealing. Of course, that was my intention all along. I absolutely won't let him escape.
Yeah, it's absolutely that, because of the stain around the bullet. We can't investigate it here, but...
It should become clear once we examine the basket of the balloon.
The balloon again! Didn't you already find the bullet hole? There's no way you'll find anything else there.
It'll be fine, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth is a hero who always finds the truth no matter what he's up against.
That's right, pal. Of course it's gonna be fine. Mr. Edgeworth has gotten us out of more impossible situations than I can count. Miles, I believe in you too. But more importantly, I'm sure your old man's watching over you believes in you as well.
Miles Edgeworth, calm down and think. You're just one step away from the perfect proof.
I hope we go along the entire line of people, and if you fuck it up and get it wrong, the entire line of people chastises you. The body double was killed by this balloon. The proof lies in this trace left on the basket. Simon Keyes, it's time for you to atone for your crimes.
I'll see it with my own eyes. The moment this past case is settled once and for all.
Please, Prosecutor Edgeworth, deliver the final blow to this unforgivable person.
This is the final piece of evidence that proves your crime. What traces were left on the balloon that crushed the victim?
And then the lilies.
Mwah. When John found the body, a bouquet of lion lilies was there as well.
Lion lilies? The flowers from Zangfa that represent the bond between parent and child? Well, that's your evidence? Surely they must have been buried under a mountain of garbage by now. Moreover, the one who threw it away was John himself. I mean, that's not much of a bond now, is it?
Yeah, That language of flower stuff has nothing to do with this.
Calm down, John. Certainly, you may have thrown the flowers away. However, I believe those emotions remain as strong as ever. Those bonds will surely protect you from that man in the form of my final piece of evidence. From Phoenix, right? No, not that man. That man right there. When I say that man, I put more emphasis on the man. But when I say that man, then I put that, like, the emphasis there. Because it's like, I don't even want to talk about it.
The real way that you guys could tell, by the way, I've known him for like a month now, so I'm an expert, is when he's talking about Phoenix, right? His eyes are filled with lust.
No.
Show the evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, stand still. Pour some luminol in your eyeballs and figure it out. No, it's like the bleach. What are you talking about?
Bleach. I think I heard Kay say something about it.
Never mind. Those flowers are crushed. Ergo, they must have come into contact with the murder weapon. Perhaps we'll find the very same pollen still stuck to the basket of your balloon. No way! You guys examined the basket just a few minutes ago. If there'd been any yellow pollen stuck in there, wouldn't you have noticed it then? Mr. Keys, evidence is not restricted to what you can see with the naked eye. What? Oh, Emma!
Yes.
Would you and your out-of-place art perform one more scientific investigation for us? Am I the only one that thinks that our art looks really out of place?
No. I mean, yes, you are the only one, because I don't think it feels that way.
I mean, then, like, it's good. It's just like her lighting feels weird, if that makes any sense.
Oh, the
It's
shading's
kind of
a little
muted.
different. Yeah.
I guess I'm used to her having brighter colors.
Leave it to me. The balloon's basket, right? Ah, a reaction.
Wow, you didn't make me do it for once.
You complained so much last time. This is clearly pollen from a yellow flower. We'll find out soon enough whether or not it's from the same flower.
Are you really going to make us go find out whether or not it's the same yellow
Oh my
flower?
god, no, I'm not.
No, I'm talking to that guy. He's just like, yeah, I am. What? I'd say this proves that the body double's death was caused directly by your own hand. Or should I say, by a balloon. No way. That can't be. You crushed the body double to death on the roof of the tower. I don't know why he didn't move out of the way. It's a fucking giant balloon.
If it came down really quickly...
I guess if he just cut the gas instantly.
Yeah.
He could have, like, broken his own fucking body with that.
I mean, I don't think he cares.
And he retrieved the body and hid it in the warehouse. Why did he have to go to the trouble of retrieving the body? 2 nights ago, he knew that a separate incident would occur at the tower.
Ah, Miss Crane's...
Precisely. Leaving the body there would have disrupted his plans. I see. But even so, he couldn't leave the body in the circus warehouse either. Exactly. So the next day, when he was bringing the body back to the tower once again, he saw the small fire John started, which caused the Mozilla head to fall. Was that when the idea came to you? Your plan to pin the crime on John, a 12-year-old child?
You made it look like the murder weapon was the fallen head. Such foul, cowardly behavior.
For that reason, you carried the double's body in the balloon and lowered it into the film lot. At that moment in time, the figure of the body double being lowered down by the rope was captured in John's video recording. Damn, it was all... You saw through it all? Damn it, damn you! You manipulated animals, you manipulated people, and you manipulated cases. Almost as if you were a king. However, it's now all come to an end. Simon, the animals have gotten angry. Even Money and Mystique. You never thought of them as your friends at all. How sad. Damn it! Don't you look at me with those eyes!
It's about time you went back to being a mere clown. A fitting end to your pitiful jester's act! Stay away! Get away from me! Stop it! Please stop it! Daddy, help me. I'm scared. I'm so scared. I don't know anything. I didn't do anything bad. They were the bad ones. Horace, why'd you stop me? If you hadn't have done that, I couldn't even trust the place. Nobody would help me. But that man, back then he saved me. The only one who helped me was Duncan, so I used everyone else. What's wrong with that? Stop it! Don't come any closer! Stop! Owie, 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 owie! Not you! Please, no more!
Oh my god.
Well, the animals killed him.
Now this is the killer.
Yes.
It seems the game is finally over.
Shelley the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth, I must thank you. You have exposed the true identity of the mastermind. Now, I am free to...
What?
Drawing a gun would be most inadvisable. Stay where you are and do not move.
I don't have a gun.
You do have a gun, do you not? You intended to draw and fire it without anyone noticing.
He must have taken it from the body double when he killed him.
This man has betrayed his bond of trust with me. He would have me kill the president while knowing full well he was the body double. Lying about a target is an extremely dangerous thing to do to an assassin. Not having all the cards on the table can seriously jeopardize an assassination. However, what is even more unforgivable is your deception and your attempt to manipulate me. The time has come for your retribution.
Stop!
You are. It's been far too long, Shelley. Please step aside. That man is my prey. I must ask you to spare his life. Please permit this young acolyte to receive his proper punishment in prison. Philip. And if I refuse? His is the first life I have saved. I will not allow it to be taken away so easily. You saved a life. The assassin, Sir Handogan. Ironic, is it not? That I, the one who has taken countless lives, am making a plea for this young one's life. He saved my life just as I have saved his. Before I knew it, I grew quite fond of the lad. You may laugh at me as much as you wish. However, I must ask that you spare the life of the boy. From one assassin to another, please make this allowance. I understand, if you are willing to go that far. Have my thanks. I am in your debt. No need for thanks. I simply felt there would be no merit in a fight to the death with you. That is all. And with that, I must take my leave.
Damn it, wait!
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I must thank you as well. It was necessary for this young acolyte to be put in his place. And that you have done. Now then, it's time for me to return to my humble cage, surrounded by iron bars. Right, Anubis, right, boy. Oh, look who's here.
Hey, priest guy. You killed my dad, right?
Indeed, I am not one to forget those I have slain.
Is his father the body double or the actual president?
The actual president.
Right. What did... Okay, I guess he did kill the actual president. There was just like some weird lines.
Yeah.
I see. You must despise me, boy with horns.
Boy
In
with
that
horns.
case.
How do you know he has horns? You can't see.
They talked about this earlier. It was described over the the audio.
Ah, okay.
John. Do not panic. I simply lent the boy with horns my knife. Take that knife and run it through my throat. A single stab should do it. I've long grown weary of my wooden carvings.
Revenge.
John, don't do it.
John, please, I beg of you. Until just now, I had intended to seek revenge, no matter how many years it took.
Revenge. Revenge is good, really good. All your pain and suffering slips away. Everything becomes numb and you'll feel nothing.
Yeah, you may be right. I thought about that while I listened to what you had to say.
John.
But the only one who would be satisfied with revenge would be myself, right? If I became a murderer, my mom would go through even more pain and suffering. Friends from the movie too, and all those people who care about me as well.
The boy with horns says some interesting things.
That's right. I finally get it now. I'll never forgive you, but I'm not the one who should punish you. After all, isn't that what my mom and that prosecutor guy are here for?
John. You just said some really profound stuff just now.
Okay, perhaps you should study up a little bit more yourself.
Is that so? Well then, young one, it is time for us to depart.
Where to?
To prison, of course. That place will be our home.
Our home. Maybe we'll perform some more, stunts in the prison. Don't worry,
No.
you can perform with us.
Regina Barry, if you come to my prison again, I will kill you personally. Goodbye.
Oh, don't worry, we have 11 more shows booked there. And you can try it, Buster, but I'm an expert assassin myself. I thought you were a jaywalker.
Ah, nothing.
And with that, the case so involved and affected with so many people came to a close. However, there was still one last thing I had to do. April 8th, 2:54 p.m. at the Grand Tower PIC meeting room.
Mr. Edgeworth, sorry to keep you waiting.
Why'd you call Uncle Ray and the rest of us out here?
Mr. Edgeworth, the formal proceedings have just come to a close.
Well, whatever are you talking about?
This is the place where I once relinquished my prosecutor's badge.
This is your prosecutor's badge. Prosecutor Edgeworth, what is the meaning of this?
Consider this my resignation. I am no longer a prosecutor.
In order to save me when I was suffering from memory loss, you...
A certain man once said, the only ally a defendant has is their attorney. By trusting in their client, an attorney draws closer to the truth. The sight of that man still shines brilliantly in my eyes. Just as the image of my father fighting in court does. Gregory. However, this is nothing more than that man and my father's way of life. He just will not say Phoenix. Holy shit. It is not mine.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I think I shall live as a prosecutor after all.
Let's see. So you've made your decision. I'm sorry. No, I understand. That's your answer, isn't it? It is. Okay. Well, that's the end of this conversation. I don't regret it. You'll be begging me later. I won't let you work for me ever again. I understand. But you know, Miles, mind if I ask you why you chose to live as a prosecutor? Mr. Shields, you asked me this before. To fight crimes as a prosecutor, or to save people as defense attorney? I want you to think carefully how you want to live your life from now on. I've thought long and hard about that question ever since. How should I live my life? And after this case concluded, I finally found my answer. I want to save people as a prosecutor. As a prosecutor. Simon Keyes, he too was a victim. He lost a parent in his past to a murderer, and with it the ability to believe in anything else. I too know that feeling. The feeling of losing what's important to you, and being unable to believe in anything. I doubted everything during my lonely battles in those days. All that I can hope to do is to get every defendant declared guilty. The one who saved me was.
Thought they were actually gonna show him, but I guess not.
Mr. Keyes must have been all alone. Unable to find salvation from the law, he had no choice but to turn his hand to revenge. And I suppose you never thought to seek help from the police. No way, no way, no way! As long as Blaze is around, any evidence would have been destroyed by him. Actually, didn't something like that almost happen today during Patricia's trial? I want to save those like Simon Keyes. Well, so, how would you save him? I'm sure this tragedy could have been avoided, if only he could have relied on the courts.
But instead, he was cornered by Blaze the Best, who used the power of law for evil. The form of the law can change depending on who wields it.
In fact, I do believe that there will be a dark age of the law coming soon.
Oh, I vomited a little in my mouth. It can be at once a shield. It can be at once a shield to protect and a blade to harm. That too is a contradiction of the law.
Contradiction, huh? That's true. Sure is a contradiction of the law. The way the law is right now, it isn't always completely right. The only way to right those contradictions is by joining in the court system. The one who could have saved Simon Keyes was not an attorney, but rather a watchman of the law, a prosecutor. I shall face the contradictions in the law as a prosecutor. I see. So that's just like you. But you know, it'll be tough. It won't just be a walk in the park. You'll be going up against the law itself. You do realize that, right? I do. However, someone must. Yep. Uncle Ray believes in you too. The law evolved and grew, just like all of us do. I'm sure you can pull it off. After all, you're Gregory's son. The old man would never give up, no matter what. His eyes always saw only what laid straight ahead. Miles, when you choose to live as a prosecutor, your eyes look just like your father's. It looks like you've grown up a bit. I really wish your old man could see you right now. Thank you very much, Mr. Shields.
So then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, allow me to formally return this to you.
Please do.
I am presenting to you this badge. I, Justine Courtney, as a member of the PIC, do hereby return to Miles Edgeworth the rights and privileges of a prosecutor in the name of the Goddess of Law.
He just goes around showing it to everybody. Look at
Yeah.
my badge, look at my badge.
Finally! Yeah.
Proof of my possession. However, I prefer to keep it in my pocket. What a dweeb.
And with that, Prosecutor Edgeworth is revived.
It's like a phoenix down. That's great, sir. Now I can get paid again. So then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, it's time for Uncle Ray to make his exit over to the nearest Sonic. I have to report to your old man about all this traitor in the Edgeworth family. Thank you for everything, truly. Next time we meet just might be in the courtroom. I hope you'll be ready. Uncle Ray might not look like it, but he's an ace attorney too, after all. I'll look forward to seeing the attorney my father trained in action. Take care. Wow, he left without saying anything creepy. That's great, Mr. Edgeworth.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, welcome back.
Judge Courtney, I must give my thanks to you as well.
To me.
You sought to fix the corruption within the PIC from the inside. That must truly have been a lonely battle.
No, it was not, for I was never alone. Because the goddess of law is always by your side, right?
You made me realize that one could fight in such a way. The prosecutor's office, no, the entire legal world is caught up in this contradiction. If that cannot be set right, there's a truth that will never see the light of day. It was only through your help that I was able to find this new path. One that fights against the contradictions in the law.
I, too, find that promising as one in the service of the goddess of law. You shall certainly succeed in helping the law grow.
Let us meet again, in the courtroom.
Yes. I must apologize for my shameful acts during the trial 2 days ago. Next time I shall fulfill my duties as a judge perfectly.
Your Honor, I do not intend to speak regarding your ideals.
Prosecutor Edgeworth.
However, the greatest judge I know is one overflowing with humanity.
Udgy.
Even during a trial that judges experience, happiness, anger, sadness, and joy. But nevertheless, always hands down the correct verdict in the end. It's difficult to say, but sometimes I feel that perfection is not always correct.
So, a judge, too, has the right to behave in such a manner. Thank you very much. Prosecutor Edgeworth. When I pursued and fought against Blaze de Best, the goddess of law was not the only one by my side. Ah, it's John! When I have this cut out with me, I feel a strange sense of courage well up from within. No matter how painful things became, no matter how strong the foe, when I remember that I am not alone, I am able to keep moving forward. Wrongs must be put right, for John's sake as well.
John, too, lost his father in a past crime.
That is more important to me than even the words of the goddess of law. Though I'm sure the goddess would be angered by those words.
Your bond with your son is the secret to your strength, I imagine.
I don't have to be perfect, I just want to grow little by little. Both as a judge and as a mother. That is how I feel.
It seems there's much each of us have yet to learn.
Agreed. We are still but children before the world. Let us grow in our respective paths until we meet again. I shall look forward to that reunion.
Oh, trust me, we are looking forward to it too. Where is it?
May the blessings of the goddess of law be upon you as you follow your new paths. They'll come back!
There goes the only good mother the series has ever had.
There goes, my one true waifu.
Do it all,
Oh, shit, there's
so that I
dialogue.
may tread a new path as a prosecutor. I shall surely reach the truth waiting at the end of this path, no matter how difficult the path may be. If any seek to stop me on my path, then shall they receive no mercy. No matter who they may be, I will shout just one word.
Hey, look, Mr. Edgeworth, my Uber Eats just got here. Who are these people?
Oh, those are the people that are taking you away, as well as Gumshoe, as well as everyone else who is no longer going to be relevant in the games ever. Alright, into the closet with you.
Chief, what sort of scoop are you aiming for next?
Hey, ain't you a journalist? There ain't nothing more important than information.
Does the fucking credits music?
You may be my apprentice. But you're still my business rival. Ain't gonna tell you everything.
Oh, that's my mentor, alright. I reckon you're even more prepared than me. I understand. I get my information using my own 2 feet.
Yeah, that's the spirit. By the way, would you mind me asking what sort of scoop you're aiming for next?
Huh? Chief.
Ain't no need to be stingy. I'm your mentor, after all.
That's just heinous. Bear trap, go!
So I think it's pertinent to mention now, the game is over. This game had the best soundtrack in the entire series.
Oh yeah, fuck it, absolutely. Yeah,
Holy shit, the music in this game slaps.
They caught him! It seems that the wound on my left arm has yet to heal. The bodyguard who inflicted this wound upon me, his is a name I will never forget. Now then, shall I return to being a simple ice cream salesman? Perhaps this time I should try being a crepe salesman instead. For now, I shall live a calm life, until my services are required once more. No, I guess I didn't catch him.
We
He
don't
just
know where
showed
to
up
search.
say hi.
Yeah, he just popped in.
I might have been knocked out by that prosecutor named Edgeworth. But I'll keep on trying to escape. I won't let him dampen my fighting spirit.
This fucking credits.
Ain't that right, Rocky? Kong and I'll send off the next escape. Ring. Till then, let's keep working out.
Oh my god.
Are you inquiring into my studies to become a pet groomer? I only groom my 2 Persian cats. I'm working as hard as ever. Spend every day covered in mud. That's is sweet. My true nature far beyond than the life of a salesman. And once I leave prison, I hope to earn an honest wage as a pet trimmer. My sentence has been extended. Because I was Warden Roland's accomplice. Oh. Why do you think I've been giving a rat's ass about these stupid animals' well-beings? The hell with the pet trimmer's license! Damn it!
Why do you think this game wasn't localized?
I don't know. Maybe the first one just didn't sell well overseas.
It's really a shame, honestly. They could have released it as a budget title, even. I guess they just didn't have the translation.
Bettina was really shocked by the truth about Simon, too. I mean, I trusted him as my subordinate. No, but, well, there's no use fretting over it. The show must go on, huh? I have to do my best so that I won't lose to the magic or ventriloquist divisions. I'll put on the greatest performance ever. One will blow away this entire case.
The implications, no.
It's okay. Maybe they died.
You know, I feel like if the apology. Oh, hold on. Please some dialogue. It seems I have grown soft in my old age. Right, Anubis? Right, boy?
How is that dog still alive?
To think the life I saved on a whim 18 years ago would drive me to such lengths. Thanks to that, I am confined to my humble cell once more. Well, this time that child is here as well. Perhaps it won't be such a bore, right, boy? What a Scooby's next. I think that if the Apollo Justice trilogy does well, they might redo 1 and 2 as a duology and actually localize this game.
That'd be great. Today's dessert is chocolate cake.
That gently melting moment of allure. I thought that was a rhyme.
I'll wait you forever, Kate. I shall come here every day, just as you and Raymond did for me.
Monsieur Shields, Prosecutor Edgeworth, I am truly grateful to them. I cannot believe I am able to eat your desserts once more, Monsieur Master.
I'm I've been allowed to distribute my sweets in both the detention center and the prison. The past 18 years, I've brought joy to one and all with my delicious sweets. God, the music is so fucking good.
This game's gotta be so fucking replayable with all the cases connected.
Yeah.
Jesse, thanks for everything, boys. Of course, I owe Greggy my thanks too. After all, I get to stuff myself with Jeffy's delicious desserts once again. Oi! Next time, maybe I'll use one of Jeffy's sweets to create a new drug. The tuck-in diet. You'll tuck in your stomach while you tuck into desserts. It'll be delicious and slimming and also good for your health.
This is also like the first game where in this after credits scroll they showed the villains talking. Speaking of villains.
No.
Man, I'm glad I got to meet and sketch so many beauties. Well, but Mandy caught a glimpse of my beauty sketch. She had a misunderstanding and clobbered me in the face with my sketchbook. So in exchange for my sketch of beauties, I had one beauty walk out on me. Well, maybe it's time for me to start getting more serious about my life. Do I take the path of an artist, or do I follow the path of my heart? Oh, and by heart, I mean the heart of my new lady.
Larry is going to die with 1 foot in the gas, 1 foot in the grave. Ah, could it be?
Mr. Bad, thanks for all your help today.
I'll testify about the IS-7 incident as much as you need me to. Prosecutor Edgeworth seems pretty active, too.
He chose not to take the same path as Gregory, but rather to live as a prosecutor. Well, I'm kind of sad I won't get to work with him, but I'll continue to watch over him.
You know, if you want to talk about lighting being different, my sprite's so fucked. It looks like you've grown up quite a bit yourself.
No, seriously, his sprite does look really silly.
I'm so happy. Mr. Bat actually praised me. If you ever need a hand from Mr. Attorney Rainy Shields, just give me a call. Anytime, anyplace.
Unofficial English fan translation. Gee, if only there was an official English fan translation.
My crimes were punished far more leniently than I expected. Once it was proven that I had been threatened... Ouch! No crime is more heavy or light than any other. I'm sorry, of course I regret what I did. However, I'm so glad I can still be together with you, Granny. Huh? You want to hurry back to work? That's right. The next corpse is waiting for us after all.
Glad to know they haven't gotten any less morbid. Hey, here's all the translation people.
Oh yeah,
Did that say down Shoki?
might have. I'm glad that my scientific investigation came in handy this time around as well. Good thing I rushed back here all the way from Europe. And now, I have to leave again. That kind of takes the fire out of a girl, as you can imagine.
Don't worry, at least you'll be back.
But this is also like become an actual forensic scientist. So then, I guess it's time to go. Ah. If anything comes up, be sure to call me right away. The second I get the word, I'll dash right over. Kay has my Discord.
Oh, he's about to eat the paper.
Oh. They had a lot of localizing people. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Will somebody please get this iPod off of... The greater the father, the greater the expectations are for their children. Prosecutor DeBest, was it? His way of life shall be tested henceforth.
You have one less chance to say Papa.
Just as mine was. Miles Edgeworth chose to live a different life from his father as a prosecutor. I suppose that too is an answer.
Oh, darn, she didn't say it. Here's your clown college invitation. Samurai dog boxes.
I could never have imagined the truth that my old man was hiding. Unlike me, who only thought about the Lang clan. My old man was trying to protect an entire nation. But I swear to you all that I will carry on his will. Even if the president was a fake and the real one was murdered. I swear that I, together with my men, shall revive Zengfa. Someday, I'll surely show you all a Zengfa brimming with life.
I just want to hear the best stuff.
Prosy D did Gregory. I did not fucking notice that.
Percy did Gregory where?
Gregory's voice.
Oh, did he? That's funny.
Yeah.
Asked everyone to stop calling me the best. I don't like it. It makes me feel like I'm just borrowing Pops' power. I shall study even harder, and pay for and triumph over Pops. I'll become strong enough so that I won't lose even to Mr. Edgeworth. Now then, let's start by thinking up my new nickname.
I love Sebastian, actually.
Oh, he's a mood. He's a good little kid. What's happened? But thankfully the film was a roaring success.
The gossip articles about the murder made our movie the talk of the country. A monstrous man appears in the mighty Mozilla. This is the true face of the monster who murdered the president. Huh? Isn't that you in the photo, Mr. Powers?
Oh, how could something like this happen? Again?
Oh, no, it's fine, isn't it? It's thanks to those articles that our film's a big hit.
Oh, much obliged. Guess I have to go get another name change.
John, I greatly enjoyed watching your movie. It's no big deal. It's not like I had a major role or anything. What are you saying? You played the key character who connects Muzilla and Gordy. There was no one else besides you who could have played the part. Yeah, I guess. Well, it would be nice if there's a sequel. I really enjoy working as an actor. Mom, before we head home, can we go buy something? I'd like to decorate our home with a lion lily for Dad. Then one will not suffice. You will need 2 more. One for me, and one for Amy.
Thank you for all our supporters and for Capcom for making the game. Well, 2 of us aren't walking out of this office. So I guess we'll have one final goodbye. Wow, we were really busy with all those cases, weren't we, sir? Indeed, we were. Why did all those incidents happen in such quick succession?
I feel like things are always busy whenever I'm around.
Wait, Kay, wouldn't that mean you're a magnet for crimes?
Hey, Gummy, that was rude.
I do get the impression that he's not entirely wrong, though you could give that label to every single person in the entire series. So then, Kay, do you intend to resume your training to become a great thief?
I don't know.
Huh? Is something on your mind, pal?
How should I put it? Until now, I've always been chasing after my father, so that I could become a great thief, just like him.
Like the previous Yatagarasu, I suppose.
But watching you, Mr. Edgeworth, made me think. Maybe instead of chasing after my father, I should find my own path. I mean, you didn't become a defense attorney either.
Chasing after a parent's shadow isn't the only path in life for a child, after all.
I'm gonna aim to be a hero in my own way.
Well, that sounds good.
But of course, that doesn't mean I'm gonna throw away the name of the great thief Yatagarasu.
No matter what sort of hero you become, Kay will always still be Kay.
Thanks, Gummy. Gummy will always be Gummy.
Of course, pal. I plan to keep pushing forward on my path of a detective, after all. Mr. Edgeworth, I look forward to continuing to work with you, sir. Yes, I'll be counting on you as well, Detective Gumshoe. Detective, you saved me more times during these past cases than I count. You have my gratitude. I suggest you look forward to your next salary assessment. Huh?
What?
Does that mean
What I think it means?
what's wrong? I'm saying that your salary ought to be raised.
Really, sir? I can't believe it!
Isn't that great, Gummy?
You might even be able to get the sauce packet. It's like a dream come true. I could finally say goodbye to my instant noodle lifestyle. However, that doesn't mean you can start slacking off. The real work begins from here on out. You should prepare yourselves.
Yes, sir! Roger that! I'll devote my body and soul to following after you, Mr. Edgeworth.
The path Mr. Shields and Judge Courtney taught me. By the way, also this song, even this song's good.
Yeah.
Is to take a stand against the contradictions in the law and to reach the truth at the end of that road. What am I about to do? What am I able to do? That is a question I must continue to dwell upon. Certainly, this path will not be easy, however.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, when I pursued and fought against Blaze de Best, Goddess of Law was not the only one by my side. Ah, it's John. When I have this cutout with me, I feel a strange sense of courage well up from within. When I remember that I am not alone, I'm able to keep moving forward.
Your bond with your son is a secret to your strength, I imagine. Bonds, huh?
Ah, I completely forgot.
That was sudden. What's wrong?
I was searching for members for the new Yatagarasu team.
Now that you mention it, I do remember you saying something to that effect.
But in the end, I wasn't even able to find a single person. Can you imagine it? A team combining their powers in order to steal the truth. I wanted to create an invincible team like that, but...
What are you talking about, pal? Don't you already have a team? Together, the three of us can solve any case that comes our way.
Yeah, you're right. A prosecutor, a detective, and a great thief. We're the invisible trio of heroes that steals, captures, and pursues the truth.
Hearing all that kind of makes me feel sorry for the truth. As long as the three of us are together, there's nothing to fear. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, you're correct. Even until his last moments, my father ran alone and along his own path. I too shall advance along mine, accompanied by my somewhat boisterous comrades. As long as they are by my side, I can walk forward without hesitation on this new path as a prosecutor. Prosecutors and attorneys. The path I walk is not my father's. However, I am certain that the two paths are not separate. Though we may walk in opposite directions, our destination is the same. Why, you may ask? Because both paths lead to the one and only truth. Where is everyone? Where the fuck did they go? Where do they go? Why just completely remove them? It's just it's dumb. It is beyond stupid that they are just like they're fucking gone.
Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, it doesn't really bother me. Obviously, I would like to see the characters return, but
Yeah.
It genuinely, I think that, you know, they've gotten their time to shine. As much as I would love to see like Courtney again, it's like any if she appeared again, it wouldn't be like this would still be the peak. You know what I mean? She had her whole character arc. This was her
Yes.
story. So I definitely like. It would be nice to see them again, but we have enough.
For
I'm
every
I'm
time
sated.
they make a pain or a pain rendition, or every time they make Judge the presider or like Udgy, they could just shove in like Courtney Or they could even shove in Ray. Like, they have this beautiful wide cast of characters that just aren't being used. And I don't
I mean, yeah, you're
get
right.
it.
Part of it is that I think that, like, you know how whenever anyone shows up for the first time in a game, it's like, all right, now we need to explain who this person is for like 2 minutes, right? I feel like it's that kind of thing where they don't want to be constantly doing that and still keep the game understandable to
But
somebody
they'll
who
bring back,
just
like,
picked it up.
Wendy Oldbag every fucking game.
I mean, that's like not really plot important that it's Wendy Oldbag again. It's plot important that there is this witness, right?
Yeah. But, like, I don't think you have to explain Courtney that much. You could just make her be the judge presiding over a case.
You're right, but I don't know. Really, the main thing I want to focus on, rather than that problem, is just how fucking good the game is and the
Yeah.
series is.
I'm
The thing
upset
is-
that this was not localized.
The thing is like I think the characters from this game are definitely all around the best.
Yeah, there was no one
Um,
that made me go, like, I absolutely hate your guts. Why the fuck were you at it? So,
Yeah, but also just like so many very like so many home runs.
yeah.
Um,
Kay's great. The
there-
best
there's-
is fucking hilarious.
there's
Courtney
just
is
like
awesome.
God, the fact that it ends in the fucking circus is
So fitting.
so fucking fitting.
You finally got your revenge against the stupid circus.
Yeah, like it's like they knew.
I wish there was, like, some more of the characters in the background, but no. No, at least that was honestly the best thing. They just
Yeah,
kept it with
they
Regina.
never like they show us Max Galactica on like the poster, I think.
Regina was always
That's
the
it.
most tolerable of the members, so I'm glad
Yeah.
that it was just Regina.
Yeah. And yeah, I fucking love Courtney.
Music was great throughout. I actually think this is, like, one of my favorite looking games, art style wise. Just, like, I prefer the
Yeah,
walking
yeah.
around to, like, zooming around like it's a.
I do prefer that for sure.
The character designs were cool. Blaze was a great final villain. I still think Blaze is, like, kind of like the true final villain, and then, like, fucking dumbass clown.
Well, that's
dude.
the thing, right? Because Simon's a victim of him. Blaze isn't
Yeah.
a victim. He's you know
He is truly a
by proxy
dirtbag.
at fault for everything.
Truly
right?
a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Patricia Rowland was cool as well. I like all the people who had to be convicted. Those were all cool.
Mm-hmm.
Knightley was fun. Minecraft Steve was also a cool character.
Yeah.
The Cowardly Lion was pretty neat. John was a lot funnier than I thought he'd be. I thought he'd be annoying, but no, he ended up
Yeah.
being, like, a cute kid.
He was really cute, and then like especially him with his mom, very very good.
It was nice to see Penny.
Yeah.
You know who didn't get to appear in these two games, though?
Who's that?
What's her name? Girl with the glasses from 2-4.
Oh, Adrian Andrews.
Adrian. Did she
Yeah,
appear
that
in the
would've been really
second? Did she appear in the
She
first?
was in, she was in no, she was just in 2 and 3.
Yeah, she was in 3 briefly. I could have sworn that Adrian was in something.
I don't think so.
I don't know. There were a couple references to different characters. There was the kid from the one case. Also, do you remember seeing John at the museum? It was like looking at the
Yeah.
statues.
Yeah.
There is just a lot of shit that you'd see on replay and get. I do see why a lot of people say this is one of their favorites, if not their favorite. Very
Yeah,
much
I
a shame
mean-
that it was never localized.
Yeah, like I said, I think that if the Apollo Justice trilogy goes well, I mean, like the thing is that Great Ace Attorney like sold really well.
Yeah. They could
so I'm
totally
pretty-
like do the dual
I,
investigations.
I think they're gonna. I think that like after 4 through 6 comes out, they're gonna do this.
the investigations pack. Yeah.
Maybe Ace Attorney 7 happens first, but like the thing is like there haven't been new games in ages, but they're still selling really fucking well. So
When was the last actually new Ace Attorney game made? Spirit of Justice.
I mean, I don't know when the original Great Ace Attorney came out,
Oh, I
but
guess that's true.
Spirit of Justice might have been the newest.
No, I actually think it was Great Ace Attorney 2 then. Speaking of, we're gonna have to go back to Spirit of Justice and at least redo
Yes.
Trial 3.
I would really like to do that.
Which I should still have the save file for. I think I can just restart the case. Probably will need it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can...
I would be. I
consider
would literally
jumping to
be happy
greatest.
to do that as early as next week.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. Was there something I wanted to do in the interim? I wanted to go back to Amori, too, because I feel bad about Amori.
Okay, so I looked it up. Great Ace Attorney 2 came out in August 2017.
I think that's after Spirit of Justice, then. Spirit
Yeah,
of
I think
Justice...
it was 20. Yeah, Spirit of Justice was 2016.
Yeah. So that was the last game. Now they're just doing a bunch of remakes. Capcom, what the fuck?
Yeah. I
Release
mean,
Attorney game, please.
I think they'll be coming.
Yeah. I just want the next one to be like a return of a bunch of characters.
Here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing. They're going to they're gonna remake Investigations 1 and 2 and localize 2 and make it as a duology.
If they
Just
did that,
wait for the fucking new localized names that are not these names, and people are gonna be pissed.
okay, if they change John's name, I'm not going to be angry.
You know that they're not gonna do the same exact. They might not even do the best as the same way, right?
They better do the best. That one is like actually. Courtney
like,
would be funny. Courtney's funny because her name is Courtney.
But I think that like legally, like there could be issues if they just mirror the names from a fan translation.
I don't think there could be issues because this is like they have no rights to any of the characters in Ace Attorney.
Mm-hmm. But still, there's some things with like Magic the Gathering where it's like you can't use like they can't use like gameplay ideas that people submit or whatever. Like that would be a problem. There's like stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how it works, but
That has to be really annoying as a copyright holder. God, I hate copyright law.
yeah, same.
Good game. God, the whole fucking soundtrack slaps. I'm gonna like look
Yeah.
up all of it and see if there's any covers, all the music, and just go wholesale, go whole hog campaign with it. I'm pretty sure there is a Game Metal cover of the Gotcha theme, which is genuinely probably the best Gotcha theme in the whole series.
Yeah.
Anyhow, boy, Edgeworth's dream really changed. I'm gonna be the prosecutor, and then he just becomes the head prosecutor like 7 years later. You know, I guess it didn't change that much. He didn't change that much. Where the fuck is Kay? Where'd she go?
I think here's the thing. I'm just gonna headcanon that whenever Edgeworth appears in like 4 through 6, she's just like in the background stealing shit.
She's just at home watching the new Steel Samurai. Don't
Maybe
worry,
not.
I'm DVRing it for you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be going back to Spirit of Justice.
Yeah. We should probably maybe confirm with Zuper because I'm sure he won't mind, but it'd probably be better to at least be like, hey, that's our plan before we just upload an episode and he's like, oh, I see how it is.
Yeah. We will ask. But for now, that's that.